It's Thursday, July 30th.
It's not really a cancellation where we get a refund in cash. I've paid double now.
WestJet passengers are scrambling to sort out upcoming travel plans with flight attendants ready to walk off the job as early as Sunday.
The strategy helps the city to prepare by identifying actions which protect critical infrastructure and city services, improve emergency preparedness, and support residents to be more resilient.
The city of Saskatoon is laying out its long-term plan to deal with climate change.
Celebrini calling for it, a shot. He scores!
Macklin Celebrini just got paid. The Sharks superstar signing the richest deal in NHL history with a $94 million U.S. extension, or roughly half of what we paid Janelle Lepie. Just stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Might be not 94 million in Canadian dollars.
Pretty close.
But, you know, she's worth it. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle. Good morning. Happy Thursday.
Keelan is away today. Last night, Queen City X took us back to the 90s.
She said, you don't know it, Bubba, but you just blew it. I said, well, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Come on.
Colin Ray and Billy Dean had a great time at the Queen City X last night. 90s country taking us back to the past. Janelle, do you even know who either of these artists are?
No.
You don't?
Nope.
No. Well, that is just lovely. Good time. Helix and Quiet Riot are there tonight, and the Saskatoon X, of course, kicks off as well. Let's get to news. It begins with wildfire situation. Authorities in BC are urging people to listen to wildfire evacuation orders after one man who refused to leave his home later needed to be rescued.
Later, they were called and asked to go back because this person's property was surrounded by fire and they were not able to get out. Fortunately, our crews were able to respond, get that person to safety. All our crews are safe, and so is that person as well.
Officials say the man who was rescued was initially told the flames were close and it was getting too dangerous to stay on his property. But according to BC Wildfire Service staff, the man used explicit language toward the firefighters and refused to leave. More videos showing the destruction on your screen. Incredible stuff in the village of Clinton are emerging, and officials say the danger is not yet over. Crews in New Brunswick are fighting an out-of-control wildfire in the Riverview area.
This hasn't happened before, but I'm not surprised. We live in an area that backs on hundreds and hundreds of acres of forest.
As of this morning, the fire is listed as 5 hectares in size and 30% contained. Fire trucks were seen going back and forth through Riverview yesterday. A water tanker also pitched in to fight the fire from above. But now, people in Riverview are being told there is no threat to the public. The town did close a hiking trail near the fire. In Saskatchewan, the number of active wildfires is on a downward trend this week. 5 days ago, there were 68 wildfires burning in the province. That number has now gone down to 45, with 8 fires contained, 7 not contained, 6 protecting values, and 24 under assessment. They're all north of PA, of course, far, far away from us. Also in the last week, the Bud fire on the eastern side of Lac La Ronge was brought under control, but the largest blaze remains uncontrolled. The border fire at nearly 19,000 hectares. That is along the Manitoba-Saskatchewan border. Let's talk City Council matters. Saskatoon City Council has moved forward with a new bylaw aimed at improving bus safety. Jeremy Dodge, we've been talking about bus safety for a little while. What does this bylaw do?
Yeah, this finally sets out what behavior is and is not acceptable on city buses. It allows officers to remove people from transit property, issue temporary bans, and hand out $50 tickets for offenses like distracting a driver or putting feet up on seats. Now, originally in the bylaw were minimum age requirements, requiring a child 6 and under to be accompanied by someone at least 16. But council decided to scrap that provision. Councillor Zach Jeffries called it a rule in search of a problem, and the bus riders of Saskatoon spoke against it.
There's no reason a 15-year-old can't pick up a younger sibling from school. Parents and guardians are legally responsible for their children, and parents can make these decisions.
New bus rules are expected to take effect in September. Meanwhile, the city is laying out its long-term plan to deal with climate change. It's a 25-year climate action strategy aiming to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and prepare the city for the effects of climate change. The strategy outlines potential actions and areas of focus that can be explored over time as community needs, technologies, and funding opportunities evolve. The city says it will also help guide decision-making.
The strategy helps the city to prepare by identifying actions which protect critical infrastructure and city services, improve emergency preparedness, and support residents to be more resilient.
Climate action strategy will go before a city committee next Tuesday. Well, Daryl, a former Regina police officer is being sued.
Yeah, Robert Semenchuk is being sued by two women for using internal records to pursue relationships with them. Carrie Benjo and Bridget Sear have filed statements of claim in Court of King's Bench against Semenchuk, claiming actions performed by the former police officer included sexual assault, breach of privacy, and breach of trust. In Semenchuk's statement of defense, in response to the statement of claim, he denies the lack of consent and sexual assault allegations, stating that any physical intimacy that occurred between the two women and himself was consensual, and denies that either woman was entitled to damages. Regina City Council has unanimously approved a request before Council for $1.8 million in funding for the Globe Theatre. The theatre says it's faced major financial pressures created by its recent renovation, overages on construction costs leading to the downtown theatre asking for $1.38 million in city grants to assist in covering the debt. Theatre brass say the cash is essential to the continued operations, and without it, they may be forced to close.
We do a lot for this city, and it was great to have council, ask us the hard questions and make sure they were doing due diligence, which I think they did. And it was a unanimous vote. They came together and said that the Globe is important.
It shows that council has a strong understanding of the value of our downtown and why it's important to invest in it. We are making investments. We're making investments in infrastructure. But ultimately, I think it was said in council, nice sidewalks aren't what makes a nice downtown. No.
Weaver is hopeful the city funds prompt the provincial and federal governments to do the same. The Globe does have an application to the federal government for $12 million through the Build Canada Strong Fund, which has yet to be approved. They will be on the show tomorrow morning. Regina Mayor Chad Wyszynski, meantime, says the city is listening to residents' concerns on weeds, uncut grass, and other issues in green spaces. He posted a video to social media this week saying that the budget pressures led to tough decisions, including scaling back some park maintenance. The mayor said it'll be updated and it'll be considered again as part of budget discussions for next year. The issue was back up at council yesterday as part of discussion updating the master plan.
Our responsibility was to maintain the balance between essential services while being mindful of the financial burden on residents. As a part of that process, we reclassified certain parks and adjusted maintenance levels. The intention was to find a more sustainable way to manage our resources and protect core and critical services. We knew there would be impacts, and in some areas we wanted to see how this approach would work in practice. What we're hearing clearly from residents is that beautification matters.
The issue back up for discussion at council as part of updating that master plan. The mayor will be on the show if you're watching on CTV Regina or Yorkton at 7:40 this morning. Internationally, Poland has accused Russia of firing a missile into its territory. Authorities found a crater and debris scattered in eastern Poland. Its prime minister says it was caused by an object that appears to be a Russian missile. Poland had scrambled fighter jets during a major Ukrainian strike. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says 8 people were killed in the overnight attacks in Ukraine's western region near the Polish border, and Kyiv were the hardest hit. President Zelensky has renewed his call for allies to provide more air defense. Closer to home, WestJet flight attendants could walk off the job as early as Sunday, leaving many passengers in limbo.
The goal is to try and get as many of both our cabin crew members, but also as many of our guests back as possible prior to a strike deadline.
The union representing 4,400 flight attendants has issued a 72-hour strike notice, and CUPE says the airline also issued a 72-hour lockout notice. The two sides have agreed to wind down plan if a deal can't be reached before Sunday. It outlines how planes would be grounded and how cabin crew would be returned home. If a strike does happen, about 75,000 passengers per day could be impacted, my wife and kids included. In a statement to CTV News, WestJet says, "We are optimistic we can arrive at an agreement." Flight attendants voted 99% in favor of a strike mandate earlier this month, with the two sides at odds over wages, unpaid work, and working conditions. CTV News has learned former federal NDP leader Jagmeet Singh could be appointed the new CEO of Destination Canada. Destination Canada is our country's national tourism marketing organization. Singh's possible appointment to the top job is said to be under consideration. He was a lawyer before entering politics, stepped down as federal leader in 2025. The Saskatchewan Roughriders may be missing more weapons on Saturday in their rematch with Edmonton.
2nd and 10 Saskatchewan in a 7-point hole. Harris, deep shots, got him to the 10-5 touchdown. Kean Schaefer-Baker.
Receiver Sam Emelis is coming off his best 85-yard game. I was now on pace for under 2,000, which is crazy. It'd be a franchise record. Team will also likely be without A.J. Ouellette. Harris loves what he's seeing in his top receiver, hopes he's ready to go.
He's healthy. Yeah. When I first got here, I didn't get to play with him in 23, but during that season, I thought it'd be an opportunity for me to study the games of each of the receivers, and so I took a few weeks and studied each receiver. And after the season, I said, I hope we get a full season together, because I think you'll go for 1,500, and I think maybe I lowballed him.
Riders also on pace to have 3 1,000-yard receivers for the first time since 2017. We'll see if that can all come together. In the meantime, there was supposed to be rain in the forecast today, Janelle, but didn't happen. I want to show you this picture from Darren. This is on the ferry in, where is this? This is Weldon. Says his girlfriend was pretty freaked out by it.
Wow. It's a beautiful shot.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I mean.
Not quite as pretty as our morning view, which is shaping up a little bit.
It is shaping up. Yeah, we are still seeing some cooler temperatures. We'll take a look at that soon. Our morning view is brought to you by Stars Lottery. Your ticket funds life-saving care across Saskatchewan. So we are starting to see that temperature rise, a little bit of a cooler start here to our Thursday morning. Currently 16 degrees in Regina, seeing that wind at about 15 kilometers per hour. Over in Saskatoon, another beautiful sunrise, 8 degrees, so a little bit cooler and reaching 6-kilometer-per-hour winds. Now for our future cast, we won't be seeing much for precipitation today, at least not significant amounts. However, by this evening, this is around 8:15, little bit of precipitation rolling through northern Saskatchewan. Also coming in from the west, this is tomorrow around 4:45 when we will be seeing those light showers, but again, nothing of massive significance. Now for some current temperatures throughout the province, Buffalo Narrows at 15 degrees, Stony Rapids 16, along with South End, Nipawin and Melfort both at 14, Hudson Bay 13, the Battlefords 9 degrees, Kindersley at 10, East End 15, Weyburn and Yorkton both 14, and Estevan 15. Now for some highs here today. Again, we will be seeing those temperatures rise quite significantly as the day goes on. The Battlefords seeing about 26 for their high, along with Prince Albert. Swift Current at 29, Moose Jaw reaching at 28, Weyburn 29 as well, both Estevan and Yorkton at 27. Here's a look at what we can expect to see for the weekend and into next week as well. Today reaching about 28 degrees in Regina, 17 tonight for our low. Tomorrow seeing more sunshine with 30 degrees. Now over the weekend, we are seeing hot temperatures, lots of sunshine as well. So if you're out and about, make sure you're drinking your water, putting on sunscreen. 35 on Saturday. Sunday bringing us to 28. And as of next week, we will see a little bit more cloud cover in the sky, but just a light amount. Monday bringing us to about 21, Tuesday 24, and Wednesday 26. Over in Saskatoon, 26 today for that high, 15 tonight for the low, seeing plenty of sunshine. Tomorrow, a little bit more cloud cover with 27 for the high, and Saturday, a hot day at 32. Get through the rest of the weekend, Sunday bringing us to 25. Now, Monday, Saskatoon and those surrounding communities can expect to see a little bit of precipitation. 18 degrees. Tuesday, that sky clearing up with 23, and Wednesday bringing us to 26.
After a long day, it may be tempting to sit your children in front of a TV or tablet to keep them occupied, but the Surgeon General warns that overdosing screens, especially when kids are younger, carries real cognitive and developmental risks. A new advisory stresses that excess screen use is linked to learning difficulties, developmental delays, and mental health issues. These effects can start in childhood and last into adulthood. According to the Surgeon General and other childhood health experts, children under 18 months should have no screen time. Those under 6 years old should have less than an hour every day. And 6 to 18-year-olds should have a max of 2 hours per day. To achieve these goals, parents should set clear limits with frequent check-ins, schedule screen-free activities and no screen meal times, pay attention to what your kids are watching, and set a good example by modeling healthy behavior with your own digital habits. With this Medical Minute, I'm Alex Stone.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
In case you missed it, Hawaii's Kilauea volcano is stirring once again. It's spewing lava from a dome fountain, creating a really stunning pool of lava. There's currently an orange watch at the famous volcano, meaning it's exhibiting heightened or escalating unrest.
I would love to see this. I would like from a safe distance, of course,
Yes.
Jeremy, but it's just so cool to see.
It's extremely cool. Kilauea is also one of the most active volcanoes in the world, so this is the one to go to if you want to see it.
The one to go to, yeah. Make it destination viewing, right, JD? That seems safe.
You got it. See you there.
Let's talk about the fair. We were talking about, of course, Saskatoon X kicks off today, the Queen City X yesterday. So we're talking not rides, because we did that yesterday. Today we're talking food, which you checked out yesterday on location.
That's right. So this question for myself is actually really hard to answer because I hit every food vendor when we go to the fairs. I love them all. What's yours?
Jeremy does everything too. Like he's done you do the deep fried cricket and you would do all the weird stuff. You try it for sure.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's reason to go for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me the weird.
I just wanted a good cotton candy. Just a good cotton candy.
Yep.
It's a good fair food. We'll throw the QR code up on screen. You guys can weigh in at home. What are you grabbing when you go to the Saskatoon or the Queen City X? Let's take a look over the city of Regina, where it's day 2 of our fair. There's the Ferris wheel. Do you want to go on the Ferris wheel?
Yes.
That'll be fun.
Cool. I love the Ferris wheel.
Okay, we'll try that out.
Prime Minister Mark Carney signaled on Wednesday he doesn't want to use Canadian energy as a bargaining chip in the trade war with the United States, though he wouldn't explicitly rule it out. I don't see the value of doing it, Carney told reporters in Red Deer, Alberta, following an announcement with Alberta Premier Danielle Smith. Microsoft's cloud unit grew at the fastest clip in 4 years, and the pace is accelerating, suggesting the company's AI and computing services are making inroads with customers. Chief Financial Officer Amy Hood said she expects growth in the cloud unit to accelerate further in the current quarter to about 45%. Demand continues to exceed available supply, she said during a conference call with analysts. Meta Platforms, meanwhile, slid in the pre-market in trading on Thursday after the Facebook parent gave a revenue outlook that is seen as disappointing. It also raised the low end of its full-year forecast for both capital expenditures and total expenses, adding to concerns about when spending on AI will translate into better growth. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. And for it, we take you to Washington, D.C., where the Blue Jays were in town. Bottom of 1, Brady House sends one deep to center. Dalton Varsho's tracking it. He's at the wall, and he makes the catch. The former Gold Glove winner robbing House of a potential home run. Trey Savage, just a day after his 23rd birthday, great little belated birthday present. Varsho's defense helping the Jays win their first series since the All-Star break. It is your must-see moment from Wednesday. And coming up tonight on TSN, we got some Thursday night football in the Canadian Football League with the Bombers and Lions in action. That gets underway from our 8 p.m. Eastern Time right across the TSN network. That's all for now from Sports Center. Have a great day.
Here's a look at your traveler's forecast. Prince George at 24 degrees. Vancouver sitting at 23. Ottawa and Toronto both 27. Ottawa expecting to see a little bit of rain. Fredericton at 21. Halifax sitting at 20 and St. John 16. Now we'll look at today's gas prices. In Regina, the common cost to fill up is $1.74.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $1.52.9. And in Saskatoon, the common cost is $1.77.9 and the lowest you might find is $1.61.9. Taking a look at farm markets, the street price of canola is $7.1965 per ton. The futures price is $7.7160 per ton. Amber Durum wheat is $285.20 per ton and red spring wheat is $302.91 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 71.01 cents US. The fair is back in both of Saskatchewan's major cities. We'll show you what you can expect in 3 minutes.
.30, welcome back. Money appears to be a major stumbling block in contract talks, you don't say, between Saskatchewan CUPE healthcare workers in the province and the province of Saskatchewan. Now, with a strike vote on the horizon, the union revealed on Wednesday it has received a contract offer, a 12% pay increase over 5 years, which union leaders say falls short of the rate of inflation. Wayne Mantika leads us off.
A large group of CUPE healthcare workers rallied outside the Regina General Hospital, angry that they have gone 4 years without a new contract. They say management's last offer was 12% over 5 years, which is about 7 points below the 5-year inflation rate.
And we are not asking for too much. All we are asking for, what can we do to retain and attract healthcare workers in this province? And we have done the math. We look at what is happening in neighboring provinces. We are not asking for anything more than what is happening in our neighboring provinces.
CUPE represents 14,000 healthcare workers at hospitals and nursing homes across the province. They work in a wide range of professions, including MRI technicians, continuing care aides, cooks and cleaners. Their next step will be a strike vote in early September.
We have been bargaining. We have talked to the government on many occasions. At this point in time, we are continuing to bargain, but we are calling the strike vote in September of 8 to 14. Our members will start the process of job action, and that job action will give a strong vote.
The health minister believes a deal is still possible.
As I said, I'm confident we're going to get to an agreement. It's just going to take a bit more negotiating.
Healthcare workers are considered essential, so not all 14,000 CUPE members would be allowed to strike at once. However, any labor disruption would place additional pressure on a healthcare system already facing significant strain. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
As trade tensions remain high between Canada and the U.S., Prime Minister Mark Carney has been asked about using our energy as a bargaining chip.
So when you're a supplier of a key commodity, key service, you got to think really hard about not supplying. I don't see the value of doing. I mean, I can understand conceptually, but I don't see the value of it.
Prime Minister Carney was asked twice about the possibility of holding back energy exports to the U.S., including oil. But the Prime Minister emphasized that the main focus right now is on securing a deal with the U.S. The Canada-United States-Mexico Agreement, or CUSMA, is under an annual review process. And while the U.S. and Mexico have held several negotiating meetings, Canada and the U.S. have yet to launch formal talks. While meeting in Red Deer, Alberta, the Premier of Alberta pitched a new equalization payment plan.
My pitch to my fellow premiers and now my pitch to the Prime Minister is let's just get rid of that escalator. Let's equalize to the point of need, and then let's take the excess that's in that fund and distribute it back to the provinces on an equal per capita basis. That'll help us with our funding pressures. And I think it will be a demonstration that just because there's extra money, you don't just cut a check to Ontario, who clearly doesn't need it. Here in the heart of...
Smith says her government has calculated Alberta has sent $7 billion more than it should have to have-not provinces over the past 5 years. The two governments are expected to discuss renewing equalization before March of 2029. Ottawa is planning a big investment to replace Via Rail's aging fleet.
It's about building our country, supporting our workers, supporting passengers, creating good jobs.
The plan will see Ottawa spend $1.6 billion to replace 45 trains. Ottawa will also send another $357 million to build an assembly plant and maintenance facility in Montreal. A Swiss company has been contracted to build the trains. The first 9 will be built in Spain, the remaining 36 here in Canada. The first trains are expected to be in service by 2031. More than $67,000 of contraband and unauthorized items were seized at the Saskatchewan Penitentiary on July 25th and 27th. The items include methamphetamine and THC concentrate. Correctional Service Canada says the seizures were from the result of vigilance from Penn staff. Correctional Services Canada says it currently uses tools like ion scanners and drug detector dogs to conduct searches and is heightening measures to prevent contraband from entering. The gates are officially open and one of Saskatchewan's biggest fairs is officially underway. For the next few days, the QCX will be the entertainment capital of Regina. Thrill rides, food and drink, and a list of performances. Colin Ray last night. The Arkells are coming up on Sunday. Thousands of people expected to go through the turnstiles. Temperature is a big factor this year, and management say it's prepared for.
We've got lots of water coolers going so people can come fill up their bottles, grab a cup, make sure that they're staying hydrated. We've got those shade locations. We've got lots of rest areas with picnic tables. And then, of course, all the indoor. We've got the air conditioning on in the Brandt Center. You can go take a seat, watch some of that indoor programming, have a rest.
Just like last year, the QCX has focused, they say, on affordability. Gates open each day at 12 p.m. And the Saskatoon X is also on officially today. This year marks a new couple of additions. The North American Midway, which owns and operates the rides, has invested just over $2 million in 2 new rides, 80% of which are coming from the Calgary Stampede. The whole event takes about 500 people more to set up for a few days of fun.
You know, I'm really excited this year. We have so many new things. It's actually going to be a lot of fun. Of course, we have our 22,000 square foot tent, and that's going to provide a lot of shade, a lot of coverage. We have shade sails. We have some beautification going on around the park. So to see all of these new projects coming together, it's really quite spectacular.
The X officially opens at noon, and the parade, by the way, kicks off at 10 a.m. starting at 24th Street and Spadina East. It will then wind its way down 4th Avenue to 20th Street before heading up Spadina East and back to 24th. It's on your screen. City says road closures will be in place starting this morning, so be aware of that if that's part of your commute. Vancouver has picked the group it wants to work with to bring an MLB team to the city. Polls suggest the idea is now gaining in popularity.
We had 7 out of 10 British Columbians who thought it would be a good idea to have a Major League Baseball team here.
All right, so the city is planning to work with a group called The Show Vancouver, led by real estate developer Zach Ross. Its proposal centers around a new ballpark and mixed-use development. No site has been picked, and there are no cost estimates yet. Vancouver is home to the only minor league baseball team in Canada, the Vancouver Canadians. MLB has not announced formal expansion plans, but the commissioner does want to grow the league to 32 teams before he retires in 2029. I want the Expos back, too. Macklin Celebrini just became the NHL's highest paid player.
Macklin, what a move there against Vogel. Into the middle. He scores! What a goal!
The Sharks forward has signed a 5-year extension worth $94 million. That works out to an annual average of $18.8 million. It tops the $18 million that just went to Leo Carlsson from the Ducks in that offer sheet debacle. Celebrini was picked first overall by the Sharks in 2024. Big payday there. Let's get to some of your viewer photos. We got some great ones coming in. Cynthia gave us 3. This is from North Hafford and near Mayfair on July 4th. There's gloomy clouds there.
Wow, that's an intense shot. It's gorgeous, though.
Land of living skies, and they're going to be active again today.
They are, yeah. Lots of sunshine, though, today and into the rest of the week and weekend as well, which does bring those hot temperatures. But as for right now, we're currently sitting at about 16 degrees here in Regina. A little bit of a gust moving through as well at about 15 kilometers. Over to Saskatoon, sticking around that 8-degree mark, 6-kilometer-per-hour wind speeds, and also seeing that sunshine, which will carry throughout the day. As we can see here on our Futurecast, a little bit of precipitation up in northern Saskatchewan. This is about 8:30 tonight. So again, nothing of significance. We aren't seeing this increase at all. And then Friday, by about 5, we've got a little bit more precipitation coming in from the west. Now for some current temperatures here, Buffalo Narrows at 15 degrees, Spiritwood 12 along with Prince Albert, Melfort at 14, Hudson Bay 13 degrees, South End at 16, Kindersley 10, Swift Current 14, East End at 15, Weyburn 14, as well as Yorkton and Wynyard sitting at about 12 degrees. Now for some highs here today, again seeing plenty of sunshine and these hot temperatures. If you are out and about doing things outside here on this Thursday, make sure you're drinking lots of water and layering on that sunscreen. The Battleford's reaching a high of about 26 along with Prince Albert. Swift Current at 29, Moose Jaw 28, Weyburn 29 as well, and both Yorkton and Estevan 27. Now taking a look at our 5-day forecast, this is a glance at what our weekend will be bringing us. Right here in Regina today, though, reaching 28 degrees and 17 tonight for the low. Tomorrow, 30 degrees, and on Saturday and Sunday, both very sunny days. Saturday, 35 degrees, and Sunday bringing us to about 28. Now Monday, a little bit more cloud cover in the sky, but mainly sunny with 21. Over to Saskatoon, 26 today for that high, 15 tonight for the low. Tomorrow, a little bit more cloud cover gathering in the sky, but still 27 degrees. Over the weekend, Saturday, 32, Sunday bringing us to about 25. Now Monday, we are expecting to see that chance of showers moving through. We can expect that a little bit later on into the morning and afternoon. Monday bringing us to about 17 degrees and 10 for the low.
Welcome to another edition of X's and O's with Wes Cates. Riders coming off that tough loss to the Edmonton Elks, but a chance for redemption in Edmonton on Saturday, Wes. So Marcus Sales saying he didn't think the defense actually played that bad, just breakdowns on very particular plays. And man, there were a lot of particular plays where the Elks were able to get some scoring opportunities. So can you get that done quickly? Can you fix that in a week?
I'm surprised to hear him say that, but he might be right, Lee. I mean, him and Jackson Ford had a little mix up there where they both played the low man and let Matt get behind them high for that big late 81-yarder, right? And it did seem like the defense did play really well except for a couple of busts in that secondary. So if that's been an emphasis this week, then I do expect them to clean that up. But they still have other weapons and they still have other ways of moving the ball. I'm not as worried about the big plays deep. Hopefully they get back and kind of have a little bit more of a shell after what they experienced against Edmonton at home. But they are on the road. It's probably going to be a little harder to communicate. I just think that they also need to still, even though Justin Rankin has quieted down over the last few weeks, just make sure that they're scheming up to keep him out of the mix as well.
Yeah, and, you know, they did a decent job against him in that last game. I mean, he got a couple plays in their passing game, but he wasn't able to get those really big runs. And is that a good sign for this defensive line and linebacker core? Because I know it's newish. They're still gelling. They're still working on that chemistry.
I think so, because statistically, they're not really up there. They're kind of at the bottom of the league as far as yards per rush. So I think just having that against a good back like Rankin, and let's just see if they can have a repeat performance and give these guys some confidence. It all starts up front. We've been seeing great stuff out of Vodders and the rest of the D-line getting to the quarterback, but just really sealing up those gaps, making sure that they're keeping teams in second and long is, I think, going to behoove the Riders this week. I think, well, we'll see how it goes. These are two great teams. It's been a great matchup. That was an unbelievable game, maybe one of the best of the season, if not the best last week. So we'll see if they can match that intensity.
You know, probably no A.J. Ouellette means Connolly will be at running back. Samuel Emelis has missed a couple practices. Weed would probably play for him if he doesn't play. But, I mean, offensively, it was another 30-point game. So do you have any concerns if that's the case going into Edmonton with that lineup?
Yeah, I do think that, obviously, AJ is the preferred back, and I think more so because of his prowess as far as blocking and understanding, you know, just the offensive scheme. We'll see. Connolly, the last time I saw him out there, he did have one or two busts that I noticed when I was watching the tape. So we'll see if he can clean that up. But he's a great back, and I think he's shown shown some explosiveness in the run game, so maybe they can get the run game going again early this game and hopefully into the second half. The one thing I've noticed about the Riders is they've gotten A.J. going early in the first half, came out with some big first halves, but then they kind of go away from the run in the second. So hopefully they can kind of keep the script a little more even in the second half, have more success on the ground.
And I got to ask you, considering the Riders lost on a 56, 57-yard field goal for the Edmonton Elks, Alex Hale was able to get one over 40, but the second one, I think, was quacking as it went past wide. So still okay with the situation when it comes to kicking?
I mean, I guess we're playing this based off of the roster and advantages you get for having that global kicker and being able to bring up an extra receiver or an extra DB and have a guy that's maybe a little more of a cover guy on special teams, not necessarily the kicking game. Me personally, I feel like you try to get the best kicker you can out there, but hey, I'm not in that coaching room trying to make it all work for that roster, right? So we'll give them a little more time, but we got our eye on you, Hale. We got our eye on you.
Yeah. The clock is ticking, but we'll see what happens in Edmonton. Maybe it's just a Mosaic Stadium thing, but that's where you play half your games, so you got to be able to kick there. We'll take a look at that Edmonton game and look forward to another game on another edition of X's and O's.
X's and O's, brought to you by Campion College at the University of Regina.
E-scooter safety has been top of mind after police in Regina handed out hundreds of dollars in fines last week. It prompted us to send Arden Lloyd out to learn the rules of the road. Arden, good morning.
Good morning, Jeremy. We're trying to stay safe out here, and I have Shannon with me to really break down some of the uptick and the concerning activities we've seen here in Regina and across the province, especially with e-scooters.
Yeah, we're starting to see more and more hitting the streets, which is great as another alternative to getting around. We just want to make sure that people are doing it safely and following the rules.
Yeah, and of course, like you mentioned, summer months, people are out and about, and the e-scooters are a fun way to do it, but it's important to be safe as well. What are some of the guidelines that are often missed that really need to be pointed out?
So one of the things that we see often is e-scooters riding on sidewalks, darting out into traffic at crosswalks. And we just want to remind people that e-scooters, e-bikes, they're considered a vehicle, and so they should be on the roadway in the lane closest to the sidewalk and obeying the rules of the road.
Right, sidewalks, they are for walking, a vehicle on the road, but it's not quite a car, SUV, truck. There are a little bit different tweaks as to how fast you can go with still obeying the rules.
Yes, absolutely. So speed is controlled. There's some really great information on the SGI website as well as our own. And we also want to remind them, people, that as they're considered a vehicle, hand signals are super important to let the other drivers know your intention to turn or stop. Yeah, just be safe out there.
And helmets are a must when riding e-scooters and e-bikes like that. But what are some other, recommendations for things to wear, visibility-wise or, padding-wise?
It's always good to see people wearing high-visibility vests or clothing, even on pedal bikes. Obviously, helmets are fantastic, especially for younger folks that are riding or just learning to ride. Any extra protection that you can wear is always a great idea. And even as adults, some of those e-bikes can get going pretty quick, and we'd hate to see somebody fall and get hurt. So, yeah.
Well, thank you, Shannon. We'll be here all morning long to give you the best safety tips you need to get on the road and, just have a good time this summer.
All right, Arden, thank you very much. We'll check back in with you next hour.
It's July 30th, and we have these milestones to share with you. Happy 94th birthday to Papa Floyd. Your family loves you and hopes you enjoy the day. Murray and Linda are celebrating their 50th anniversary. All of us here at CTV, Your Morning Saskatchewan, wish you many more years of happiness. Happy birthday to Sebastian, with love from your cousins, Reed and Drew.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, you can send us an email at yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or you can scan that QR code on your screen. Please make sure to send them at least one day in advance.
Oh, we missed you last night. Colin Ray and Billy Dean were fantastic at the Queen City X. We took Tony the Tundra, so I'm really actually surprised that I'm here because radio boss Jeff said he was going to have me arrested for trespassing and stealing the vehicle.
Yeah, rightfully so. Maybe the morning's early still. You still could have police barging in there and arresting you at some point. So.
It's still outside your window, isn't it?
Yes, yes. It was.
Success.
It's actually behind a banner. There was a moment of freak out. I was like, is it here? The truck is in the parking lot. We are good to go because, yeah, I'm going to be loading up and going down to the Queen City X this afternoon in Tony the Tundra as well. So make sure you come and find us on the Midway. We'll have some prizes, some little games to play as well. And it is your final day to get in for those meet and greets with Dallas Smith. He's going to be playing the Saturday night. So I posted the link up on our Facebook and Instagram story. Very easy to find it there, or head to peercountry927.ca.
Legend is that the crown can bring back the dead.
Outer Banks fans, get ready for one last adventure. The 5th and final season of the drama hits Netflix August 20th. The trailer's out now.
It's time for you to move on. There's just one problem, Dad. I'm not done with football.
Chad Powers has a touchdown date. Hulu's Glenn Powell football comedy returns for season 2 on September 3rd. Disney is the parent company of Hulu and ABC News. And happy birthday to Christopher Nolan. The director of The Odyssey turns 56 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News.
We all know there have been many remakes of popular songs, but maybe not like this. What if the King of Pop was a medieval king? Maybe it would sound like this.
I like it.
This is fun.
Got a nice little beat to her.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Wow. I like it.
Jeremy, what else you got for us here?
All right, let's talk about some more parenting things. We know it's a struggle to get your teenager to make their bed, or at least I do. Apparently, that's true for dogs as well.
He's sleeping crazy, Miss Pamela.
Wow.
Yeah, this is producer Nathan's dog, Sammy, who was very sleepy the other morning, didn't want to get out of bed. So, you know, decided to help herself to the spare bed, mess everything up.
I was going to say, this dog looks very familiar.
Very familiar. Very quickly before we let you go for this hour, let's see some Cirque du Soleil performers not letting pregnancy get her down. Laura is a contortionist, hand balancer, and hula hoop artist that just doesn't let anything hold her back. You go, Mama. Wow. We're back right after this. Welcome to Thursday, July 30th.
If they fail to provide alternate transportation as prescribed by the law, then I would just buy myself a ticket on a different airline and make WestJet pay for it.
Passengers who have flights booked with WestJet looking at their options today in case flight attendants do go on strike this weekend.
There's no reason a 15-year-old can't pick up a younger sibling from school. Parents and guardians are legally responsible for their children, and parents can make these decisions.
City Council in Saskatoon moving forward with a new bylaw aimed at improving bus safety.
We do a lot for this city, and it was great to have council, ask us the hard questions.
Regina City Council unanimously approving a request before members for a cash injection for the Globe Theatre. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle. Thanks for being back with us.
Lots going on today. Queen City X is underway. The Saskatoon X is underway. Last night, they took us back to the 90s.
She said, you don't know it, Bubba, but you just blew it. And I said, well, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Come on. That's my
was a lot of fun last night. Billy Dean, Colin Ray, kicking out some old 90s jams. Everybody's singing along every word.
Yeah.
Even our in-studio floor director, Bailey, was there. She was not born before any of these songs came out. And she had a great time, she said.
She must have gone out for her birthday.
Must have, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she hanging out with her boyfriend, having a good time.
Yeah.
7:01, we're going to get to your forecast in just a minute. We're going to start things off with some wildfire news. Hey, hi there. Extra camera time for Janelle. We like that. Some anxious moments for people living in and around Logan Lake in BC as wildfire burns just 2.5 kilometers from the district. The region is about 50 kilometers north of Merritt. It's home to roughly 2,000 fire crews fighting the blaze overnight, both on the ground and from night vision helicopters. The fire forced the closure of a nearby highway for a few hours. While there are no evacuation orders, some properties near the blaze are under alert, which is all too familiar for people living in the area who were forced to evacuate in 2021.
It's pretty scary for a little town of Logan Lake because we've been through this, and so a lot of high anxiety and just sort of helplessly standing by and watching and trying to prepare as best as you could.
BC Wildfire Service says no homes are being threatened at this time, but the fire is still classified as out of control. Many are packing their bags, being ready to leave at a moment's notice, while others want to step further, voluntarily evacuating animals in case that situation does get worse. And crews in New Brunswick are fighting an out-of-control wildfire in the Riverview area.
We live in an area that backs on hundreds and hundreds of acres of forest.
All right, so as of this morning, the fire is listed as 5 hectares in size and 30% contained. Fire trucks could be seen going back and forth in the area. A water tanker also pitched in to fight from above. For now, they're being told there's no threat to the public. The town did close a hiking trail, though. Saskatchewan's number of active wildfires is on a downward trend. 5 days ago, there were 68 in the province. That number has gone down to 45. 6 are protecting values. 24 are under assessment. They're all well north of Prince Albert at this point. The Bud fire is on the eastern side of Lac La Ronge. It was brought under control. The largest remains at the uncontained border fire, which is 19,500 hectares along Manitoba-Saskatchewan edge. Now to flash flooding in the northeastern United States, triggering water rescues. Incredible video here from Ginger Z.
This morning, millions in the path of a days-long flood threat as stalling storms dump dangerous downpours in the east. Dramatic new images showing the aftermath of the devastating flash flooding that spawned parts of West Virginia. Entire neighborhoods submerged. National Guard vehicles out in force. More than 80 water rescues reported in a 20-hour period. Some residents even paddling in to help however they can.
Myself and a few others are just kind of going around making sure everyone's okay. Some people are stranded in parking lots.
Home security camera footage capturing this man grabbing his son and heading to safety seconds before his shed and ATV are washed away. Flash floods also prompting rescues in Tennessee. This woman carried to safety from her car. The storms also spawning at least 23 tornadoes across 6 states from New Jersey to Kentucky. This couple surviving an EF2 twister that destroyed their home, holding hands as they rode out the storm in these recliners.
And we just kept saying, hang on, and don't let me go, don't let me go. And we're just glad to be alive.
Further south, the Gulf feeling the brunt of Bertha, the tropical storm making landfall in St. Bernard Parish, Louisiana. The storm surge kicking up waves in New Orleans and flooding along the coast as far as Biloxi, Mississippi.
Ahead of the August-long weekend, the union representing 4,400 WestJet flight attendants has now issued a 72-hour strike notice. The Canadian Union of Public Employees says the airline quickly responded by issuing a 72-hour lockout notice. While serving strike notice does not guarantee flight attendants will hit the picket lines, job action could begin as soon as Sunday if the two sides don't reach a deal. The union says the two sides remain far apart on key issues, including compensation for what it says is unpaid work on the ground. WestJet is now allowing passengers with flights scheduled anytime between today and August 4th to make a one-time change or cancel it with no fee. My wife flies out on the 5th. That works well for us, doesn't it? The airline says travelers booked on its regional WestJet Encore service or code share flights run by an airline partner such as Delta will not be affected. If there are flight delays or cancellations, the airline said impacted guests will be refunded or reaccommodated as applicable. Saskatoon City Council moving forward with the new bylaw aimed at improving safety on buses. We keep talking about this. Now there's finally a bylaw in place, Jeremy.
Yeah, Daryl, City Council's moved forward with the bylaw, and CTV's Laura Woodward reports that one advocate fears these rules could create new barriers for people who rely on the service most.
Saskatoon's new transit bylaw sets out what behavior is and isn't acceptable on city buses, setting rules around fare payment, disruptive behavior, and which animals are allowed on board. The bylaw gives officers authority to remove people from transit property, issue temporary bans, and hand out $50 tickets.
For someone living paycheck to paycheck, a $50 fine can represent groceries, medication, or part of this month's rent.
Community advocate Melissa Natauhow says the bylaw could disproportionately affect the city's most vulnerable.
If someone is prohibited from using transit, where are they expected to go?
Administration says the bylaw is less about enforcement and more about setting a standard.
It will only be in extreme circumstances that somebody is actually banned from using Saskatoon Transit, and usually after repeated offenses. So the nature of the bylaw is targeted at bad behavior, not at specific people.
The bus riders of Saskatoon supported the new rules, but the group questioned some of the bylaw's broad language and opposed a section requiring children under 6 to be supervised by someone at least 16.
There's no reason a 15-year-old can't pick up a younger sibling from school.
Councillor Zach Jeffries, who previously supported the age restrictions, changed his tune.
Including those age provisions was a rule in search of a problem.
Other councillors argued drivers should not be put in a position where they're babysitting.
By letting a 3-year-old onto the bus completely unsupervised, we are accepting responsibility for that child, and that bus can go anywhere across the city.
Councillor Catherine McDonald says federal and provincial laws already protect children from abandonment or inadequate supervision without setting a minimum age for riding the bus. So council decided to scrap the age requirement from the transit bylaw. The new bus rules are expected to take effect in September. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
All right, Daryl, back to you with some international news.
Thank you, JD. A number of drone strikes on gas vessels in Egypt's Mediterranean port of Damietta has signaled a potential new front in the U.S.-Iran war. Egypt says an investigation shows an unidentified drone caused a fire on a vessel, 2 of them at the port. It's near the Suez Canal, which links the Mediterranean to the Red Sea. Egyptian officials say no one has claimed responsibility, but measures are being taken to protect Egypt's national security. The attack raises the prospects of threats to shipping through the Suez, at last a remaining safe port for Saudi oil. Overnight, the U.S. military says it struck dozens of targets in Iran after Tehran fired at American forces in the region. U.S. Central Command says it carried out a 2-hour operation targeting the military command centers of Iran's Revolutionary Guards. Iranian state media reports 3 people were killed in U.S. strikes on the island. Poland has accused Russia of firing a missile into its territory. Authorities found a crater and debris scattered in eastern Poland. Its prime minister says it was caused by an object that appears to be a Russian missile. Poland had scrambled fighter jets during a major Russian strike on Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says 8 people were killed in overnight attacks. Ukraine's western region near the Polish border and Kyiv were the hardest hit. The president has renewed his call from allies to provide more air defense. It's been 3 years in the making, the grand reopening of the Connexus Credit Union branch in Melville. Connexus amalgamated with Cornerstone Credit Union, as you know, in January of this year to create the more resilient, they say, provincial credit union. The construction itself started just over a year ago, and the branch remained operational throughout. The goal was to create a modern, minimalistic, and ergonomic environment where staff and clients can feel well. The vast majority of the renovation, the last part of it, lasted roughly 20 years, and the staff expects the same longevity from this new look.
We're here for the long term in the city of Melville, and we're here for our members for the long term, and I think that shows our commitment to them. So it was really exciting for all of us that we got this renovation.
Grand reopening came just after the Bank of Montreal closed its only branch in the community last month, so good time for them. The Saskatchewan Roughriders may be missing more weapons on Saturday in their rematch with Edmonton.
Saskatchewan in a 7-point hole. Harris, deep shots, got him!
Receiver Sam Emelis is coming off a season best 185-yard game, on pace for just under 2,000. My goodness, Schaefer Baker's on fire too. The team will likely be without AJ Ouellette. We'll see what the depth chart looks like. That game, of course, is on Saturday at 5 o'clock in the Alberta capital. Listen, we got more photos to show you. Again, Cynthia sending us this very moody shot from July 8th. It was an elevator, and there was a huge tornado-warned storm. She did send a picture of the actual tornado that we'll show you a little later in the show. This one coming right over the Alberta to Saskatchewan border.
Wow, we've got some very, very talented viewers. These shots are beautiful.
And you can always send them in to us at yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca. Bye. I didn't need any more screen.
Bye, Daryl. Let's take a look now at our morning view, brought to you by Stars Lottery. Your ticket funds life-saving care across Saskatchewan. Current temperature right now here in Regina, 18 degrees. Seeing that wind picking up just slightly to about 17 km/h. Over to Saskatoon, we are seeing that temperature rise, currently at about 12 degrees, 9 km/h wind speeds, along with that sunshine that we will continue to see here today. Now let's take a look over at our futurecast. We are seeing those clouds moving through the province, along with slight precipitation. We're expecting those light showers towards northern Saskatchewan. This is tonight around 9 o'clock, and as we get into tomorrow afternoon and early evening as well, we will see a little bit more of that precipitation coming in from the west. Now for current temperatures, Buffalo Narrows is at 15 degrees, Spiritwood at 14 along with Melfort, Nipawin and South End both at 17, Hudson Bay 15. The Battlefords and Saskatoon both at that 12-degree mark, Kindersley 13, Swift Current at 14, Wynyard and Yorkton at 16 degrees, and Weyburn and Estevan 17. Now for our highs here today, still seeing that sunshine, a little bit of cloud cover in the sky, but hot temperatures. The Battlefords reaching 26 for their high today, along with Prince Albert. Swift Current at 29, along with Moose Jaw. Weyburn 29 as well, Yorkton 27. Estevan seeing 27 for their high as well, but a little bit more cloud cover in the sky. Now for our 7-day forecast, this is what we're expecting to see into the weekend and early next week. 28 for our high here today in Regina, reaching 17 tonight for the low. Tomorrow even hotter at 30, and Saturday hotter than that at about 35 degrees. Really not much for cloud cover in the sky, so definitely keep up that water intake, layer on that sunscreen. It's going to be hot. Sunday 28, and as we get into next week, we'll see a little bit more cloud cover, but still quite nice temperatures. Monday bringing us to about 21, and Tuesday 24. Over to Saskatoon, 26 today for that high, 15 tonight for the low. Tomorrow bringing us to 27, a little bit of a cloudier day, but mainly sunny. Over the weekend now, we'll see more of that sunshine coming out, 32 on Saturday, Sunday bringing us to 25. Monday, some precipitation is on the way for Saskatoon and those surrounding communities. We can expect to see that a little bit later into the morning and early afternoon. We'll be reaching that high of 18 degrees. Time for today's rural forecast. Lloydminster 26 degrees, Meadow Lake reaching 25 along with Spiritwood. Hudson Bay 27, Wynyard 26, seeing plenty of sunshine. Leader 31, Rosetown 28, Easton 29, seeing that risk of thunderstorms rolling through as well, and Kenora 26 degrees. Now let's take a look at Purdue, where internet speeds up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel, reaching that high of about 26 degrees, sunny skies, and that wind reaching up to 15 km/h.
Hello there, Kara Waglin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. And for it, we take you to Washington, D.C., where the Blue Jays were in town. Bottom of 1, Brady House sends one deep to center. Dalton Varsho's tracking it. He's at the wall, and he makes the catch. The former Gold Glove winner robbing House of a potential home run, Trey Savage. Just a day after his 23rd birthday, great little belated birthday present. Varsho's defense helping the Jays win their first series since the All-Star break. It is your must-see moment from Wednesday. And coming up tonight on TSN, we got some Thursday night football in the Canadian Football League with the Bombers and Lions in action. That gets underway from our 8 p.m. Eastern Time right across the TSN network. That's all for now from Sports Center. Have a great day.
Beautiful temperatures, which means we are on to the X, both in Saskatoon and Regina. The parade is today. Jeremy's not walking in it, he told us yesterday, which is tears are going to flow.
Yes.
We understand that. Yeah. So he'll set up an autograph signing session another time. Parade kicks off at 10 a.m., starts at 24th and Spadina. Then it'll wind down that route. Sorry, Jay?
This was yesterday.
This was yesterday?
Yes, it was.
All right. Well, listen.
On to the next.
That's what you're here for. That's what you're here for.
Sorry.
You had something extra for us, right? We're talking about our favorite fair.
I just want to pour one out for Spud Nuts at the Saskatoon X. They have decided, I don't understand it. It was my main reason for going to the X, to get Spud Nuts every year. And for this year, they have decided not to have them available, and I continue to be sad and steamed about it.
Was it time and energy?
It's not, I mean, yeah, probably. Sort of. They're usually run by like a volunteer organization and funds raised for things, and maybe they couldn't secure that this time, but man, I miss it already.
Okay, so what's everybody's second favorite fair food?
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually,
we're now competing for number 2. Oh, look at that right at the top of the run. Hey,
Lois is feeling your pain, Jeremy. She says Spud Nuts, but sadly we won't have them this year in Saskatoon. So
good old-fashioned mini donuts, though. That'll make up for it in some way.
I love
in some way.
Yep.
And that's what Kevin said. And deep-fried pickles, 2 great ones.
We had too many pickles come through this newsroom in the last couple of days. All those pizzas.
There's never enough.
Okay, fair enough.
Absolutely.
All right.
And Jameson says, I'm always looking for souvlaki on a bun. So
that's all we've got so far?
That's all we got. We only have 3 so far. The province is still waking up, but there is still time. We want to hear from you. You can text your name and answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or you can scan that QR code on your screen.
Prime Minister Mark Carney signaled on Wednesday he doesn't want to use Canadian energy as a bargaining chip in the trade war with the United States, though he wouldn't explicitly rule it out. I don't see the value of doing it, Carney told reporters in Red Deer, Alberta, following an announcement with Alberta Premier Danielle Smith. Microsoft's cloud unit grew at the fastest clip in 4 years, and the pace is accelerating, suggesting the company's AI and computing services are making inroads with customers. Chief Financial Officer Amy Hood said she expects growth in the cloud unit to accelerate further in the current quarter to about 45%. Demand continues to exceed available supply, she said during a conference call with analysts. Meta Platforms, meanwhile, slid in the pre-market in trading on Thursday after the Facebook parent gave a revenue outlook that is seen as disappointing. It also raised the low end of its full-year forecast for both capital expenditures and total expenses, adding to concerns about when spending on AI will translate into better growth. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Okay, we're talking fair food, right? So it only makes sense that our morning mystery today would be centered around food. I don't think it has anything to do with carnivals, but we'll find out here. Clue number 1 for you this morning. The first recipe for this dessert was written more than 2,000 years ago. So at least it's a dessert. We're narrowing it down.
Okay.
Clue number 2, it was served at the Olympics in 776 BCE for energy. Okay, so it's got sugar in it.
Okay.
It's got to have sugar in it. Main ingredient was popularized by dairyman in 1872 by mistake.
Oh. I know you know this, guys, because you read the National Day calendar.
We do read the National Day calendar. You're right, we do.
Oh, no.
What are you?
Forgive me, my marker is dying out, but this is my answer.
Cheesecake? Cheesecake?
I wrote cheesesteak at first by accident.
She wrote cheesesteak?
Cheesecake.
This is my favorite dessert. I can't not get this right. Cheesecake. It is National Cheesecake Day, so celebrate accordingly.
Yes.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
Time for your travelers forecast. Prince George reaching 24 degrees, Vancouver 23, Calgary 28, Saskatoon 26, Winnipeg a hot and beautiful 30 degrees, Ottawa and Toronto 27, Montreal 25, and St. John 16 degrees. Here's a look at today's gas prices. In Regina, the common cost to fill up is $174.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $152.9. Over in Saskatoon, the common cost is $177.9. The lowest you might find is $161.9. Taking a look at farm markets, the street price of canola is $719.65 per ton, and the futures price is $771.60 per ton. Amber durum wheat is $285.20 per ton, and red spring wheat is $302.91 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 71.01 cents US. After the break, an update over Wednesday's crash in Warman that sent multiple people to hospital. Stay with us.
Say good morning. It's just about 7:30. Trade talks between Canada and the U.S. expected to intensify. There was a hopeful sign on social media posted by the Minister for Canada-U.S. Trade. This says the Prime Minister is facing growing criticism at home for making too many concessions to the U.S. and not using every Canadian energy leverage available. Here's Abigail Biman.
Canada's U.S. Trade Minister sat down with his American counterpart in D.C., releasing this smiling photo but no specifics. In the shadow of looming 50% Trump tariffs, New Brunswick's premier said her province's energy could be considered as a bargaining chip.
Have to be very strategic about how we use the leverage that we have. But I think one of my colleagues around the table used the quote, you need to walk softly and carry a big stick.
So when you're supplier of a key commodity, key service, you got to think really hard about not supplying.
In Alberta, the Prime Minister didn't seem keen to go there.
I don't see the value of doing, I mean, I can understand conceptually, but I don't see the value of it.
But a federal Conservative raised the option too.
Canada has leverage. We have energy. We have critical minerals. We have steel, aluminum, autos, manufacturing. American factories depend on Canadian supply chains. American workers depend on this relationship too. So let's use it.
MPs were at a rare summer meeting with Conservatives pushing for details about the Gordie Howe Bridge deal. It's in Harb Gill's riding.
The Americans apply pressure, we make concessions. What did they give us?
The Prime Minister was asked that question directly. On the list of concessions, this court filing shows the government plans to drop the requirement for American streaming services to pay for Canadian content. The government will foot the bill instead. Carney framed it as an affordability move.
Most Canadians have one or two or so of these streamers, and it's real money. This stuff adds up.
Ottawa has been in full retreat on pushing American technology companies on regulatory alignment. This is nothing short of changing political direction based on the broader context of the trade war.
Pushed by reporters on what Canada is getting in return from the United States, Carney said the best trade deal in the world right now. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Well, City of Saskatoon is laying out its long-term plan to deal with climate change. The city's 25-year action strategy aims to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and prepare the city for the effects of climate change. The strategy outlines potential actions and areas of focus that can be explored over the time as community needs, technologies, and funding opportunities evolve. City says it will also help guide decision-making.
The strategy helps the city to prepare by identifying actions which protect critical infrastructure and city services, improve emergency preparedness, and support residents to be more resilient.
The climate action strategy will go before a city committee next Tuesday. Two serious collisions at the entrances to Warman under investigation now. The first happened yesterday afternoon at Highway 305 and Centennial Boulevard. Warman Fire Rescue says it was a two-vehicle T-bone collision involving 8 people. One person was flown by STARS to hospital and 4 others transported to hospital, 2 of them with serious life-threatening injuries. Another person was taken by ambulance. The highway was closed to allow emergency crews to do their work at the scene. Detours were put in place with drivers told to slow down and follow detour signs as well. And a short time later, emergency crews were called to another serious collision, this time at the southbound entrance to the community at Central Street. The one that we're talking about now was an ATV rollover involving one person who has serious life-threatening injuries. Traffic was rerouted for a time. Some parts of Canada dealing with one of the worst mosquito seasons in recent memory. Alison Bamford reports.
In between the rows of vegetables, these gardeners are feeling the bite.
Every time I come here, they're here. They can't escape.
The mosquitoes are the worst Rita Little has ever seen in her 15 years of gardening at this Saskatoon plot.
You have to carry on whether they're here or not. But the spray does help.
And these days, bug spray is in high demand. Stores like Zach's Home Hardware can barely keep it on the shelves. They had to place a limit on how many mosquito products customers can buy at one time.
The demand is insane. We got our home hardware shipment on Thursday, and all of it was sold out by Sunday.
It's a problem across the city. This pharmacy hasn't sold out of bug spray yet, but they are bulking up supply to meet demand.
There are a lot of back orders with suppliers. Luckily, when we've placed orders, we've gotten the product and managed to keep some supply on the shelves.
Last week, Saskatoon's mosquito count was 3.5 times the 10-year average and 14 times higher than this time last year, driven by increased rainfall and hot temperatures.
If it dries out, then those numbers will reduce.
Edmonton is seeing a similar surge, and in Brandon, Manitoba, the city approved overnight fogging to help cut down its mosquito population.
So they're annoying and they're unpleasant, but the probability that you're going to be bit by something that's going to make you sick is not substantially higher than normal.
Mosquitoes are typically more active in the morning and evening. Experts recommend wearing loose-fitting, light-colored clothing to avoid getting bit. But the best thing people can do is eliminate any standing water that could be used as breeding grounds. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Well, the Saskatoon X is back. This year marks a few new additions. The North American Midway, which owns and operates the rides, has invested just over $2 million into 2 new rides, 80% of which are coming right from the greatest outdoor show on earth, the Calgary Stampede. Whole event takes about 500 people and more than 2 days to set up.
You know, I'm really excited this year. We have so many new things. It's actually going to be a lot of fun. Of course, we have our 22,000 square foot tent, and that's going to provide a lot of shade, a lot of coverage. We have shade sails. We have some beautification going on around the park. So to see all of these new projects coming together, it's really quite spectacular.
Gates open at noon. QCX as well in Regina. The Prince Albert musician we're about to show you is making a name for himself in country music. Josh Stumpf is receiving some recognition at this year's Canadian Country Music Association Awards as a nominee for Fans' Choice and Breakthrough Artist of the Year. He's racked up 6 SCMAs along the way as well.
Going through some tough times, and it kind of felt like a way to talk to somebody without really having to talk to somebody, and you could kind of just express what you were feeling by writing it down. And then I always loved hearing music and playing music, so turning it into songs was the fun part of it for me.
He's on his way back to Nashville to work on more music. Canada back on top of the podium at the Commonwealth Games. Sarah Mitten from Nova Scotia defended her shot put title. She won Canada's 14th gold medal at the Games with a throw of 19.88 meters. Meanwhile, weightlifter Alex Bellemare set the Commonwealth Games record while winning a silver medal along the way. She was in the women's 94 kilogram weightlifting category. Bellemare, who's from Quebec, set a Commonwealth record with a 159 kilogram snatch before lifting 187 kilograms in the clean and jerk discipline. Canada's men's 3x3 wheelchair basketball team secured a bronze medal with a commanding 19-9 victory over Scotland. The women's team in 3x3 came in 4th. So congratulations to all of our athletes competing over at the Commonwealth Games. Cynthia sent in this photo. I told you the moody photo from the last section here. This is the tornado from July 8th. What a stunning shot.
Wow. Oh, it's beautiful. It's very scary though.
I've always wanted to see one from like this distance, right? Safe.
Yeah.
Feeling at least distance.
I like the pictures. I don't think I want to see one in person, but I love the pictures.
Probably a ride at the QCX or the Saskatoon X that would whip you right around too.
Yeah, and I think I'm okay. but But the photos are beautiful, so keep sending them in. I love to see those shots. Let's take a look right now at our morning view. We are seeing those clear skies, not a tornado in sight. Reaching about 18 is our current temperature, and that wind speed at 17 kilometers per hour. Little bit more cloud cover in the sky, but we are seeing plenty of sunshine over in Saskatoon, 12 degrees, 9 kilometer per hour winds. Now for a future cast, we will be seeing some of that cloud cover moving through the province for the next few days. Now we've been talking about it all morning. We are still seeing a small amount of precipitation up towards northern Saskatchewan. This is later tonight, closer to 10 o'clock. As we roll into tomorrow afternoon and early evening, we will still be seeing a little bit of precipitation moving in from the west as well. For current temperatures, Stony Rapids is at 16 degrees, Buffalo Narrows sitting at 15, Spiritwood and Prince Albert both at 14, Hudson Bay 15, Nipawin 17 degrees, Kindersley 13, East End at 15, Swift Current 14, Wynyard and Yorkton both at 16 degrees, and Weyburn and Estevan at 17. Now for some highs here today, still seeing that sunshine out and hot temperatures. The Battlefords and Prince Albert reaching a high of 26 degrees. Swift Current and Moose Jaw both at 29, Yorkton 27, along with Estevan, Weyburn 29. Now for our 5-day forecast, we do have a hot weekend ahead of us across the province. So if you are heading out to the fairs or maybe just spending some time outside, make sure you're drinking your water, layer up on that sunscreen. Today in Regina, reaching that high of about 28 degrees and 17 tonight for the low. Tomorrow, 30 degrees, and as we roll into Saturday, we are seeing that number get higher at about 35. Now Sunday wrapping up the weekend with 28, and Monday starting a fresh week with 21 degrees for our high and 10 is the low. Over in Saskatoon, 26 today for the high, 15 tonight for the low, mainly sunny skies. Tomorrow, 27, Saturday again getting even hotter with 32. Sunday 25, and Monday bringing us to about 17 degrees. Now we will be seeing some of that precipitation later into the morning and early into the afternoon, and Monday night reaching the low of 10.
Time to check in on City Hall as we welcome in the mayor of this fine city, Chad Buczynski. Thank you so much for being here. Let's start with your Instagram video from a couple of days ago talking about beautification and the weed problem. A lot of people complaining about the fact that boulevards look a little bit different.
Yeah, so obviously last year at budget time, we made some decisions to try and adjust our service levels, and it was actually our classification. So I had worked with administration to say, is this an area that we could, can we get creative kind of thing? And so we did, and there's some areas that it's worked okay from some naturalization areas, but also some areas that clearly we're not meeting residents' expectations. That paired with some challenging weather with lots of rain at the beginning and, really hot weather now. I think that's created some other challenges, but it's something where, for me, we try something, we iterate on it, we learn, and we adapt. And so I look forward to budget time when I can ask some questions of administration and say what's worked, what maybe hasn't met expectations.
Is it not being done, or is it just not being done as regularly?
It would be, it'd be the timing, especially. So not as regularly,
Yeah, so we're just not seeing it on a frequent basis. Let's talk about the Globe Theatre. There's a lot of money poured into those renovations. The space is beautiful. The shows are always high quality. We know that. But they've come back and asked for another $1.38 million. Is this at a point where you've already put this much money in, we might as well continue going?
Well, I think
it's a tough spot.
It's a tough spot, and it was an incredibly tough discussion and decision for me, specifically, just talking for myself. Like, on one hand, you've got our financial situation that we know we're in. We know our reserves are below the minimums. It's not the situation that we want to be in when we have something like this come up. But it is the mechanism to use for an urgent and emergent situation.
And then there's the argument, not everybody goes to the Globe, right?
For sure. But at the same time, the Globe is an anchor downtown. It does drive people downtown. It supports surrounding businesses. And if the assessed value of downtown diminishes, it does affect everybody in the city because that revenue has to be made up elsewhere. So it's a tough decision, but I think at the end of the day, the benefits that the Globe brings to the downtown and the city as a whole outweighs that situation, and we'll look at how we build ourselves back up from there.
In this time slot tomorrow, by the way, we will hear from the Globe directly on this ask, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Saskatoon came out with a climate action plan. Does Regina have anything like that in place? What kind of steps are we taking?
Yeah, so we do. We have a climate, I mean, just to use similar terminology, but we do have a climate action plan that talks about, emissions reductions and how we want to hit net zero, and we have some actions in that. So when we look at initiatives around electrification of our bus fleet, when we had that grant and we had purchased electric buses, we've seen, not just the emissions reduction there, but also fuel reduction and the cost of fuel there. And so we have initiatives like that. We have initiatives where I believe we have solar panels that we have on some of our buildings and that. So we do have a plan in place, and it's just a matter of every year looking at how that can be funded and how we move forward on it.
I want to talk about loving this fine city. There are things to love here, as I Love Regina Day coming up very quickly.
Yeah, August 22nd, I Love Regina Day coming up. Be live entertainment, community activities, free barbecue, and so really excited. Hopefully everybody that's able to come out can come out and celebrate our city together. And
the bouncy houses, which I'll have to pry my children out of. Budget deliberations are coming up very soon, so we'll look forward to that conversation next time. Mayor Chad Buczynski, regina.ca for more information. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Here's what's happening in our community. The Esterhazy Community Market is on July 31st at 8:45 a.m. at 701 Park Avenue in Esterhazy. Email Renee Anderson 76@gmail.com. The Classic Car Show is July 31st at 5 p.m. at the Southland Mall. Email Friday Nights Classic at hotmail.com. A used book sale is on August 1st, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 101 Center Street in Regina Beach. Call 306-729-2062. And the Midsummer's Art Festival is August 1st at 10 a.m. downtown Main Street in Fort Capel. Visit msaf.ca for details. Submit your event to our community by visiting our website, ctvregina.ca, and click Community Calendar or scan the QR code on your screen.
July 30th, and we have these milestones to share with you. Happy 94th birthday to Papa Floyd. Your family loves you and hopes you enjoyed the day. Murray and Linda are celebrating their 50th anniversary. All of us here at CTV, Your Morning Saskatchewan, wish you many more years of happiness. Happy birthday to Sebastian, with love from your cousins Reed and Drew.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, you can send us an email at yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or you can scan that QR code on your screen. Please make sure to send them at least one day in advance.
We're learning how to safely use e-scooters this morning with police. Arden Lloyd takes us through those hand signals for riders.
Down at Regina Police Service, I'm here with Shannon, and we're ready to talk about some e-scooter safety. We've seen an uptick in concerns over e-scooters around the city. Just what have we seen from the Regina Police Service and actions that we need to kind of clamp down on?
Yeah, we've received a number of complaints of e-scooters driving fast through neighborhoods, young children riding them, and so we just want to remind everyone that to ride an e-scooter, you have to be 16 years of age, and that as you're riding the e-scooter, you also have to obey the rules of the road. You are considered a vehicle or a conveyance, and so the rules of the road apply to you on a conveyance as well. So if your children are riding it, 16 and older, please remind them of the rules of the road.
Well, that's a great reminder, because it's not the first thought that pops into your head when you see a bright orange scooter and go, oh, that's a vehicle, same as a car, an SUV, as a truck, but the rules of the road do apply. But there are some different tweaks to just how fast those scooters can get around in the city.
That's right. E-scooters can drive, the speed limit is 24 kilometers an hour on roadways, and 15 kilometers on pathways. So we want to remind people to be conscious of those. Pathways are shared roadways with pedestrians and cyclists and everybody else, and so we just want to make sure that those speed limits are being observed when pedestrians are around.
And helmets, of course, are a must on the e-scooters in order to navigate traffic. But what are some other recommendations for high-vis wear or padding that people can equip to just be the safest they possibly can while having fun on the road?
Yeah, so we always want to encourage people to wear high visibility equipment even when they're riding a pedal bike or if they're out running on the roadways. And anytime that you can wear any added protection, especially for joints, that is going to save you in the long run if you do have an unfortunate accident.
Well, thank you so much. We'll be down one last time here to keep a reminder out as while you're having fun out in the e-scooters on the roads here in Regina, just how to be safe.
What a beautiful night last night at the Queen City X. We went down, we watched Billy Dean and Colin Ray do their thing, and you are trying to get people to Dallas Smith in a couple of days.
Absolutely. Saturday night, Queen City X, and you get a meet and greet with them if you go to PureCountry927.ca and enter there. But it is your last day to do so because that draw will be coming up tomorrow, so we can get you all set for the weekend. So don't miss out on that. I'm going to be at the Queen City X broadcasting live from Main Street this afternoon, too, so I'll come say hi. I'm hoping that we have some prizes and some games to get you going there. Plus, on air this morning, we want to hear what is the weirdest thing in your work fridge right now. You can text in 54321. I think leading the pack is a thing of worms. They said they hope their coworker is going fishing after work, but that has yet to be confirmed. So it's just worms beside everybody's lunch. Join the conversation. Weirdest thing in your work fridge, text 54321.
Ours is a biohazard. I don't go in there. I can't even. No. I can't tell you.
We have things in our fridge that are older than most of the employees here. It's just, it's a wonder.
No, that's true.
We'll see you tomorrow.
A Prince Albert musician has been making a name for himself in the country music scene.
I kind of started writing almost like a form of therapy for me. I was going through some tough times, and it kind of felt like a way to talk to somebody without really having to talk to somebody, and you could kind of just express what you were feeling by writing it down. And then I always loved hearing music and playing music, so turning it into songs was the fun part of it for me.
Josh Stumpf is seeing some recognition from this year's Canadian Country Music Awards as a nominee up for Fans' Choice and Breakthrough Artist of the Year. And he's racked up 6 Saskatchewan Country Music Association award nominations, too.
What I was listening to growing up was a lot of country and rock, which I think you can kind of hear through a lot of my music, both those themes. But it's everywhere here. It's part of life. They talk about all the stuff that, I want to hear about.
Stumpf learned to play guitar in his early teens and would eventually start going to open mics in Saskatoon.
I was farming for a little bit in Smeaton, and I would drive from Smeaton to Saskatoon and go do open mics for like 4 people. Mark Poppin and Joelle Gaudette were hosting the open mic at the Capitol in Saskatoon, and they approached me to come record a song.
With support from Saskatchewan's music community, Stumpf has seen 2 singles hit top 10 on the Billboard Canada Country Chart.
His success in music isn't what makes me proud. It's the work that he puts into it.
What's next for the rising artist? Stumpf is headed back to Nashville in August to work on new music and will be making festival appearances in the next few months, including one in Australia at the Groundwater Country Music Festival. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
JD, lighten the mood for us.
Okay, we're going to talk about getting your teenager to make their bed. It's a pretty tough thing to do, and apparently that's true for dogs as well.
You're sleeping crazy, Miss Pemberton. That's preposterous.
This dog, Sammy, didn't want to get out of bed, but didn't want to sleep in their own bed either, so she went into the guest room and the spare bed and messed it all up.
Sleeping
as
crazy.
she should be comfortable. She's a beautiful little angel.
Totally unrelated. If you want to adopt this dog, you can call producer Nathan at the station. There have been a lot of remakes of different songs, but maybe not one quite like this. pop was the medieval king of pop.
I still like it.
Now you know.
Now we know.
We'll let him piccolo us right on into break. Welcome to Thursday, July 30th.
It's not really a cancellation where we get a refund in cash. I've paid double now.
WestJet passengers scrambling to sort out upcoming travel plans with flight attendants ready to walk off the job as early as Sunday. The gates officially open on Saskatchewan's biggest fairs.
You know, I'm really excited this year. We have so many new things going on around the park. So to see all of these new projects coming together, it's
That includes
really
the Saskatoon next, which got new rides we'll tell you about. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle. Good morning, and thanks for being back with us.
What happened to that little bit of rain we were supposed to get today, that reprieve?
We're not seeing a lot of it. Northern Saskatchewan seeing just a light shower moving through a little later on tonight. But for the rest of us, we're seeing sunshine.
I could have used at least a mister coming
Yeah.
through. 8:01. Let's get to wildfire news. This is where we begin. Some anxious moments for people living in and around Logan Lake in British Columbia as the wildfire burns 2.5 kilometers away from the district. The region, which is about 50 kilometers north of Merritt, is home to roughly 2,000 people. Fire crews fighting that blaze overnight, both on the ground and from the sky. The fires forced the closure of nearby highway for a few hours. No evacuation orders, but some properties are under alert. It's all too familiar for people who had to evacuate in 2021.
It's pretty scary for a little town of Logan Lake because we've been through this, and so a lot of high anxiety and just sort of helplessly standing by and watching and trying to prepare as best as you could.
So BC Wildfire Service says no homes are being threatened at this time, but the fire is still classified as out of control. Still, many are picking up their bags, getting ready to go, while others are taking it a step further and voluntarily evacuating animals in case the situation gets worse. Community members banded together Wednesday to help evacuate sheep and horses. And crews in New Brunswick are fighting an out of control wildfire in the Riverview area.
This hasn't happened before, but I'm not surprised. We live in an area that backs on hundreds and hundreds of acres of forest.
As of this morning, the fire is listed as 5 hectares in size and 30% contained. Fire trucks going back and forth in Riverview yesterday. An air tanker pitched in to fight the fire from above. For now, people in Riverdale being told there's no threat to the public, but the town has closed some hiking areas. Authorities in BC urging people to listen to evacuation orders after one man who refused to leave his home later needed to be rescued.
Later, they were called and asked to go back because this person's property was surrounded by fire and they were not able to get out. Fortunately, our crews were able to respond, get that person to safety. All our crews are safe, and so is that person as well.
Officials say the man who was rescued was initially told the flames were too close and he had to get out. It was dangerous for his property. But according to BC Wildfire Service staff, the man used explicit language toward firefighters and refused to leave. More videos showing the destruction in the village of Clinton are emerging. They're on your screen. They're incredible. And officials say the danger is not yet over. Tourists and residents evacuated to safety from wildfires in Crete in Greece say they lived through a nightmare.
I'm just happy that we are still here.
Hundreds of people were rescued from 9 settlements and villages in the region as wildfires raged on. Gale force winds have been whipping up the flames on the island, and witnesses say flames spread pretty quickly. Sadly, 3 firefighters have died taking on the fires in Crete. There's other wildfires burning on a number of Greek islands and on the mainland as well. Just ahead of the August long weekend, the union representing 4,400 WestJet flight attendants has issued a 72-hour strike notice. The Canadian Union of Public Employees employees says the airline quickly responded by issuing a 72-hour lockout notice. While serving strike notice does not guarantee flight attendants will hit the picket lines, job action could begin as soon as Sunday if the two sides do not reach an agreement. The union says the two sides are far apart on key issues, including compensation for what it says is unpaid work on the ground. Now, WestJet, for their part, allowing passengers with flights scheduled anytime between today and August 4th to make a one-time change or cancel it with no fee. The airline says travelers booked on its regional services will not be affected in all of this. If there is a strike, a flight delay or cancellation, the airline said impacted guests will be refunded or reaccommodated as applicable. A former Regina police officer who pleaded guilty to breach of trust and unauthorized use of a computer earlier this year is now facing civil lawsuits from two of the women affected in the breach. Jacob Carr standing by with details.
Both Carrie Benjo and Bridget Sear have filed statements of claim in Court of King's Bench against former Police Sergeant Robert Semenchuk. In Semenchuk's statement of defense, he admits to his conduct being a breach of trust and unauthorized use of a computer system. Semenchuk, who worked for Regina Police for 22 years, faced criminal charges over incidents Regina Police were first made aware of in 2023, using the police database to pursue personal relationships. Upon learning of the incident, his access to all police databases was revoked, and Semenchuk was suspended pending an extensive investigation before being formally charged in March 2025. The now former sergeant pled guilty to the charges in November of last year, and in February received a conditional sentence order for community service of 2 years less a day, followed by 3 years of probation. In this civil case, he denies the lack of consent and sexual assault allegations, stating any physical intimacy that occurred between himself and either of the two women who have filed lawsuits was consensual. Sear's response to Semenchuk's statement of defense argues any apparent consent was made legally invalid by Semenchuk's misrepresentation of his identity, occupation, marital status, and the nature of his interest in her. Sear's response went on to describe Semenchuk as a serial predator who had illegally obtained information about her and several other women. According to her statement, Semenchuk first contacted her in December of 2022 while she was undergoing cancer treatment, falsely identifying himself as Steve Perkins, a divorce construction consultant. The allegations from Sear and Benjo have yet to be tested in court. The plaintiff's lawyer, Maurice LaPrairie, and the defendant's lawyer, Nicholas Brown, were unavailable to comment on the matter on Wednesday. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
City of Saskatoon laying out its climate action plan. Jeremy, what's it all mean?
Well, Daryl, the plan is a 25-year document aimed at cutting emissions and preparing the city for a changing climate. Let's let Stacey Hine give us the details.
The City of Saskatoon is laying out its 25-year climate action strategy, aiming to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and prepare for a changing climate.
It will help to prepare for the realities we're already experiencing: hotter summers, flooding, and severe weather, while protecting residents, infrastructure, and essential services.
The strategy identifies 7 key areas to help guide Saskatoon to net zero carbon pollution by 2050. That includes improving the efficiency of homes and buildings, which account for 61% of the city's carbon footprint. How the city will encourage those improvements has yet to be determined.
Whether it's through incentives or through regulation is up for further investigation and exploration.
Another key focus is zero-emission electricity, including installing solar generation on civic lands and buildings. But the city still relies on Sask Power for its electricity, and most of that power is generated using fossil fuels.
Right now, Sask Power has committed to having a net zero energy production by 2050, so we're looking to them to meet that goal.
The city is also looking at zero-emission transportation options, conserving and enhancing green space, and exploring carbon offset policies. As for the cost, Jenna South says it's too soon to know what impact the strategy could have on property taxes.
I can't predict what the impact would be on the mill rate. We're hoping that in the long run, efficiency actions and resilience actions will actually save the city and the community money.
South also says approval of the strategy does not come with a price tag. Each initiative and their costs will be considered separately through the city's budget budget process and public engagement.
The Climate Action Strategy will go before a city committee next Tuesday. If recommended for approval, it will then go before City Council for a final vote at a later date. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
All right, Daryl, back to you. And you're very interested in all our X's this morning.
Yeah, not just a great George Strait song. Let's start with the Queen City X in Regina.
The thrill seekers are out as the 2026 edition of the Queen City X is officially underway. Management say putting on an event of this magnitude requires having a little something for everybody.
Having that kids stage, memory lane is really important to us. Having that agricultural entertainment definitely speaks to our roots and where we come from. So there's a lot of traditional pieces that we try to integrate every year.
West Coast Amusements are back on the Midway and have brought in their selection of rides, games, and treats. This is the second year in a row the Canadian-owned and family-run company have supplied the entertainment, something which has attracted fairgoers to beat the lineups and be some of the first on the rides this year.
The swing, the one behind us, we just went in it and I was screaming so crazy because it was so scared and now my throat hurts.
Entertainment is a big attraction for attendees, closely followed by food and drinks. This year, the weather will likely dictate what people will be lining up for.
Something cold because of how hot it is. Yeah, probably a lemonade.
And you sound like, food-wise, what are you looking forward to?
Mini donuts.
A water station with shade has been set up, but there are also indoor options for those who want to wait out the heat, including a dog show and memory lane, a deep dive into the fair's history. Last year, affordability was a big factor in restructuring the QCX. This has remained in place for 2026 to get people out and having a good time.
We still do a lot of community engagement and giveaways. There's a lot of partnerships that we have within the community, giving away complimentary passes, making sure that we're inviting in those groups that might not have access to the event otherwise.
For night one, Billy Dean and Colin Ray will be taking the original 16 grandstand stage, capping off with a performance by Arkells on Sunday. Mick Favel, CTV News, Regina.
Colin Ray was fantastic last night. Billy Dean as well. And so there's Regina. Here's what you can expect in Saskatoon.
It's all hands on deck as the Saskatoon X returns.
Oh my gosh, well today is an exciting day on the park. The Midway started moving in yesterday. Everything is getting set up. Our operations team, our AV team, our events team to get everything ready for opening tomorrow.
Over 2 days, the North American Midway staff turn an empty parking lot into a full-scale carnival.
Our carnival travels with about 450 people, so that encompasses rides, games, and food, and that comes with us wherever we go. And then we hired another 126 that we hired to help us with some non-sensitive safety operations. So we're kind of a traveling little army.
This year's exhibition is expected to look a little different than previous years, including the addition of 2 new rides, thanks to a $2.5 million purchase made by the Midway, and a 22,000 square foot tent for folks to escape the heat. While there are many notable additions this year, it was previously announced that the fan favorite Spud Nuts will not be returning.
It was a tough decision, but this year we just had to take a pause. I mean, we've taken a pause, but we have introduced a brand new fair food through Prairieland, which is our bourbon bacon. Delicious. If you like bacon, it's wonderful.
Those working to set up say, while they've seen the process before, it's still just as fun to see everything come together.
I'm always excited. This day is always excited. It's kind of like going to the prom, you know? You got to put on your shirt and you're just about ready to put on the corsage and get ready to go. That's always exciting.
The Saskatoon X will be running for 8 days from noon until midnight, beginning on Thursday. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Know what to expect in terms of rides and food and all that stuff. What about the weather?
Hot weather. Definitely keep a water bottle on you. Drink that water. Layer on that sunscreen. Let's take a look right now at our morning view, which is brought to you by Stars Lottery. Your ticket funds life-saving care across Saskatchewan. Right here in Regina, we are currently seeing about 20 degrees, 19 km/h wind speeds, and a little bit of sunshine with some cloud cover. Over to Saskatoon, much lighter and brighter with 16 degrees, 6-kilometer-per-hour wind speeds. We are expecting to see the sun carry through all throughout today. Let's take a look right now at our futurecast, where we can, of course, see that cloud movement heading through the province. A little bit of rain tonight up in northern Saskatchewan. We will be seeing that returning tomorrow in the early evening. This is about 5:45. Now for some current temperatures, Buffalo Narrows and Stony Rapids both at 16 degrees. Spiritwood and Prince Albert 17, Nipawin at 19, Hudson Bay 18 degrees, Swift Current at 16, East End 17, Weyburn 19, along with Yorkton and Estevan 18. Now a look at today's highs. We will still be seeing lots of sunshine, lots of hot temperatures as well. The Battleford's reaching 26 for their high, along with Prince Albert. Swift Current 29. We'll be seeing Weyburn rather at 29 as well. Estevan sitting at about 27 and Yorkton 27 as well, with plenty of sunshine. Now for our 7-day forecast here in Regina, 28 degrees for our high, 17 tonight for the low. Tomorrow still seeing some cloud in the sky with 30 degrees, and Saturday even hotter. We've got a beautiful weekend ahead of us. 35 on Saturday, 20 Saturday night for the low, and Sunday bringing us to about 28. As we start into next week, 21 on Monday, Tuesday bringing us to 24, and Wednesday 26. Over to Saskatoon, 26 degrees today for that high, 15 tonight is the low, and seeing plenty of that sunshine. Tomorrow we'll be reaching 27. Over the weekend, plenty more sunshine as well. We are getting tons of it in these next few days. 32 on Saturday, Sunday 25, and on Monday, a little bit of precipitation. We can expect to see that start later in the morning and earlier in the afternoon as well. 18 degrees on Monday and Tuesday, more sunshine with 23 degrees.
On this day in history, 1962, the Trans-Canada Highway opened in British Columbia. In 2003, more than 450,000 people attended Molson Canadian Rocks for Toronto at Downsview Park. Acts included Justin Timberlake, The Guess Who, Rush, AC/DC, and the Rolling Stones. Not a bad lineup. And July 30th, 1966, England beat West Germany 4-2 in extra time at Wembley Stadium to win their first and only FIFA World Cup.
In case you missed it, a factory you probably didn't know exists, a bell foundry in Austria that is embracing new technology to restore old bells. Yeah, they've been casting bells in churches and cathedrals for more than 400 years, one of the few remaining bell foundries left anywhere. These days, they're assisted by 3D printing, scanning, lasers, computer simulation apps, but they still pour molten metal. Now, there's not a lot of demand these days for new, enormous bells, so they spend a lot of time repairing old ones, but still going strong.
Janelle really likes the outfits of the guys who are pouring the molten
I quite
steel.
like that.
They look like the aliens, the aliens in the sci-fi movies in the 60s.
Cool.
Oh man, bells are ringing all over the Queen City X and the Saskatoon X, where they have fabulous fair food. We're asking about your favorites.
Yeah, we did get some more answers coming in. Allison says cotton candy and cinnamon mini donuts, which is delicious.
Yep.
Kim, a classic corn dog made with cornbread batter and the lemonade. And I didn't even think about the lemonade, but I love that.
They used to have root beer, like fresh root beer. It was awesome.
Ooh.
It was awesome.
Oh, getting hungry. Jerry says a corn dog and a candy apple for dessert and cotton candy to take home.
Okay.
Which I can get behind.
Part of it nutritious. That's one of the 4 food groups, I think.
Exactly.
I don't know where it fits in.
Chef Linda says my favorite fair food is corn dogs and smoked turkey drumsticks. And a few more here. Dawn, corn on the cob and a foot-long hot dog.
Because anything less is just ostentatious.
Of course.
Elephant ears are always a staple as well. Always a staple.
Yeah, I like those.
Another classic, and I believe that is all the answers that we had for today.
So I guess we thank everybody for participating, and then we remind them that we got health news in 3 minutes.
heat is here.
There we go. Other arm.
For Jillian Dykeman, she wants to protect her children from getting burned.
Sunscreen is really important. I burn very easily, so it's important in my life.
A message experts are hoping others get as melanoma diagnoses rise in the province. According to Statistics Canada, 645 Albertans were diagnosed with melanoma in 2016. In 2023, 1,065. For 2026, Cancer Care Alberta anticipates approximately 1,350 new cases. Even accounting for population growth, the case rate is rising.
One blistering sunburn during your youth can significantly increase your chances of being diagnosed later in life. Boomers, from the 60s, we're seeing those diagnoses today.
The organization held a mobile skin cancer screening recently. It made 19 stops throughout Alberta, screening over 1,200 people, detecting 151 skin cancers and 31 melanomas. It is not just older people catching it, though. The University of Calgary's Director of Dermatologic Surgery says he and colleagues are seeing a younger influx of patients.
People are coming in younger with more sun damage. There is an increased use, from just my anecdotal evidence, of tanning beds.
Scientists say UV rays from the sun, sun lamps, or tanning beds increase a person's cancer risk. The Alberta Health Law Institute analyzed approximately 1,000 TikTok videos relating to sunscreen use. The overwhelming majority promoted using it as protection, but not all.
Videos that were saying that sunscreen is either harmful for you, it's got toxins in it, and you shouldn't use sunscreen were the most liked, the most commented on, and the most shared.
Experts recommend ignoring those.
We need to stay protected from the sun, sunscreen usage, UPF clothing, sun protective hats.
Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Bush Beer is paying tribute to our farmers through a unique new bale board and specialty can promotion. You'll start seeing these very soon, and we're learning more about its meaning this morning as we welcome in Patrick Heembrock from Labatt Breweries. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So where did this whole bale board idea come from, and what made you think giant six-packs made of hay bales would click with people out on the prairies?
Yeah, we really wanted to launch our new farmers pack in a unique way. It just didn't feel right for us to do that with a standard billboard type campaign that mostly shows up in cities. So instead, we chose to work directly with Saskatchewan farmers, some of the very ones that grow the barley that goes into our beer, and wrapped hay bales to look like gigantic versions of our new bush farming cans. Now we call them bale boards. And yes, when you line them up out in a field, it looks like a whole six-pack is just sort of grown right out of the field itself. We, thought it was a good idea and figured it would go over well, but seeing the reaction from our farmers themselves and seeing how excited they were about it really gave us a lot of confidence. And, otherwise it's just fun, unexpected, and shows up in an unusual way.
As you said, the Farmers Pack really puts prairie barley in the spotlight. How much did it matter to you to draw that clear line between what is in the can and what the farmers are growing?
Yeah, it was really the whole point. I mean, the Farmers Pack features custom artwork inspired by the prairies and the fields where our ingredients are grown. And obviously, we can't even make our beer without those ingredients. So the packaging itself really puts those farms and farmers front and center. And then the bale boards themselves takes that one step further and places them on the literal land where the barley is grown that eventually gets into our beer. So couldn't be more of a direct connection.
You paid the farmers the same rate you would for a regular billboard, and now you're putting 10% of your national media spend into these farm-forward placements next year. Was that farmer support always part of the plan, and what does that kind of investment say about reaching people through rural communities?
Yeah, it definitely was. The whole project was rooted in a place of honoring and supporting farmers directly, both literally and figuratively. And as I said, it didn't feel right for us to launch this on like a city billboard. So once we found a way where we could, spread the word in a more compelling way and give back to the farmers instead of big media companies, it all kind of clicked into place. And then once we recognized that that approach was going to work, we figured we would do it a lot more. And that's when we chose to commit fully 10% of our national media spend next year towards this kind of farm forward placements.
A farmer drives past one of these bale boards in their own community. What is one thing you're hoping they walk away feeling?
We really want to express appreciation for their efforts in growing the high quality products that make our beer possible and delicious. We talk a lot about farmers and inputs around the office and felt like it was time to do that a bit more directly. So hopefully it's taken as an expression of appreciation.
It really is so cool. Thank you so much, Patrick, for your time, and thank you for everything you've done to invest in farmers in our province.
Thank you for having me. Cheers.
Welcome back. It is 8:30. Money appears to be a major stumbling block in contract talks between the Saskatchewan QP health care workers in the province and the government, with a strike vote on the horizon. The union revealing on Wednesday it has received a contract offer, a 12% pay increase over 5 years, which union leaders say falls short of the inflation rate. Wayne Mantika reports.
A large group of QP healthcare workers rallied outside the Regina General Hospital, angry that they have gone 4 years without a new contract. They say management's last offer was 12% over 5 years, which is about 7 points below the 5-year inflation rate.
And we are not asking for too much. All we are asking for, what can we do to retain and attract healthcare workers in this province? And we have done the math. We look at what is happening in neighboring provinces. We are not asking for anything more than what is happening in our neighboring provinces.
QP represents 14,000 healthcare workers at hospitals and nursing homes across the province. They work in a wide range of professions, including MRI technicians, continuing care aides, cooks and cleaners. Their next step will be a strike vote in early September.
We have been bargaining. We have talked to the government on many occasions. At this point in time, we have continued to bargain, but we are calling the strike vote in September of 8 to 14. Our members will start the process of job action, and that job action will give a strong vote.
The health minister believes a deal is still possible.
As I said, I'm confident we're going to get to an agreement. It's just going to take a bit more negotiating.
Healthcare workers are considered essential, so not all 14,000 QP members would be allowed to strike at once. However, any labor disruption would place additional pressure on a healthcare system already facing significant strain. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
In other news this morning, money has been approved for Regina's Globe Theatre.
There will be no curtain call for the Globe Theatre.
The Globe is important to Regina.
Regina City Council unanimously approving a $1.38 million grant for its downtown hallmark.
The Globe is an extremely important part of downtown, and now we have viability for the rest of our season.
After its recent renovations went well over budget, the Globe says it is more than $16 million in debt.
This is a capital infrastructure project that once we get that overhead out from over us, our operations are sound.
Weaver's hopeful Regina City Council's leadership in approving their portion of funding prompts other levels of government to do the same. The Globe does have an application to Ottawa for $12 million in grants through the Build Canada Strong Fund, which is yet to be approved. But now Council is looking to the province to step up.
We are part of the province, and to see that it is the city that has to step up is so incredibly frustrating, knowing that the impact to them is going to be so much less.
Earlier this week, the province announcing its support for arena projects in North Battleford, Prince Albert and Saskatoon.
What's good for Saskatoon is good for Regina. But I call on the provincial government to follow our lead here today. We need your help.
And while the province did partner with the Globe through its renovations, the agreement did not include covering cost overages.
Given the investment that the three levels of government have already made in the Globe Theatre, I'd like to have a conversation about what that looks like.
Wyshynski says Council's approval has a wider impact to the entire downtown.
Institutions like the Globe Theatre that provide vibrancy to our community, that's what really drives people to be downtown.
Downtown is really blossoming, and I think Council just agreed that we're a big part of that.
The $1.38 million grant will come out of Regina's General Reserve, a fund used for emergencies. This ask, the mayor says, meets that criteria. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
of the revenue earned.
We spoke to Regina's mayor this morning. That interview available on our website right now. As trade tensions remain high between Canada and the U.S., the Prime Minister was asked about energy as a bargaining chip.
So when you're supplier of a key commodity, key service, you got to think really hard about not supplying. I don't see the value of doing. I mean, I can understand conceptually, but I don't see the value of it.
Prime Minister Carney was asked twice about the possibility of holding back energy exports to the U.S., including oil. But the Prime Minister emphasized that the main focus right now is on securing a deal. The Canada-U.S.-Mexico agreement, CUSMA, is under an annual review. And while the U.S. and Mexico have talked, Canada and the United States have not yet launched any formal talks. The federal minister responsible for Canada-U.S. trade met with U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer in Washington yesterday. Regina Mayor Chad Baczynski says the city is listening to residents' concerns on weeds, uncut grass, and other issues in city green spaces. In a video he posted to social media, Chad Baczynski said that the budget pressures led to tough decisions, including scaling back some park maintenance. The mayor said in an update that it will be considered as part of the next budget deliberations. The issue is back up for discussion at City Hall on Wednesday, and it's part of updating the park's master plan.
Our responsibility was to maintain the balance between essential services while being mindful of the financial burden on residents. As a part of that process, we reclassified certain parks and adjusted maintenance levels. The intention was to find a more sustainable way to manage our resources and protect core and critical services. We knew there would be impacts, and in some areas, we wanted to see how this approach would work in practice. What we're hearing clearly from residents is that beautification matters.
The issue is before council. As we said, we talked to the mayor earlier this hour, and that's on our website. It's been 3 years in the making, the grand reopening of the Connexus Credit Union branch in Melville. Big news for the community. Connexus amalgamated with Cornerstone Credit Union in January, as you know, to create the more resilient provincial credit union. The construction itself started just over a year ago, and the branch remained operational throughout. Now, the goal was to modernize. It's a minimalistic look, an ergonomic environment that will, of course, last.
We're here for the long term in the city of Melville, and we're here for our members for the long term, and I think that shows our commitment to them. So it was really exciting for all of us that we got this renovation.
The branch is open now. Vancouver sports fever remains high following the World Cup, and now the city has chosen a preferred partner to explore a bid for a Major League Baseball team. Here's Ben Nesbitt.
Vancouver is home to Canada's only minor league baseball team, but the city is ready to ramp up its push to level up to the big leagues. A new group has been formed to develop a potential expansion bid.
There's certainly a high level of anticipation to the idea of this happening at some point.
The group, dubbed The Show Vancouver, is led by developer Zach Ross and includes sports industry executives with experience launching professional teams and building stadiums. The group's proposal is centered around a new ballpark and mixed-use development, although no site has been announced, nor has the group disclosed the estimated cost of the project, its projected economic impact, or how the project would be financed. But this pollster says there's certainly supports from people around the province.
We had 7 out of 10 British Columbians who thought it would be a good idea to have a Major League Baseball team here. It's higher than the other couple of times that I've asked in the past. It's something that encompasses all age groups, both genders, people from all across British Columbia saying that this would be something that is attractive to them.
There is currently no timeline for the league to expand, but MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred recently said he hopes 2 teams can be added by the end of his tenure in 2029, and has been discussing this as far back as 2018.
We have a real list of cities that I think are not only interested in having baseball, but are viable in terms of baseball. Certainly Montreal, maybe Vancouver in Canada.
The city says TSV will be responsible for all costs and financial risks associated with the bid, and any future project agreements like site selection must be approved by council. Ben Nesbitt, CTV News, Vancouver.
Wish I had a picture from outside to show you. We got that morning view, though.
Yeah, the morning view is looking beautiful, especially in Regina and Saskatoon. We are seeing quite a bit of sunshine. Little bit of a cloudier start here in Regina, but that sun will come out as the day goes on. Currently at 20 degrees here in the Queen City. Seeing that wind speed at about 19 kilometers per hour. And over in Saskatoon, 16 degrees. Nice light breeze moving through the city at about 6 kilometers per hour. Now, if we take a look here at our futurecast, we can see some of those clouds making their way through the province, along with just a little bit of rain up in northern Saskatchewan. That's later on tonight, closer to about 10 p.m. As we get into tomorrow, close to about 6 p.m., we'll see that rain returning, but some light showers, nothing of significance. For current temperatures now, Buffalo Narrows and Stony Rapids at 16 degrees, Spiritwood and Prince Albert both at 17, Nipawin 19, Hudson Bay at 18. Kindersley 15 degrees, East End 17, Weyburn and Yorkton both at 19, and Estevan 18 degrees. Now for some highs here throughout the city, throughout the province rather, lots of sunshine we can look forward to, and some beautiful temperatures as well. The Battlefords and Prince Albert reaching 26 degrees for their high, Swift Current 29 along with Moose Jaw, Weyburn 29 as well, Yorkton and Estevan both at about 27. Now for our 5-day forecast, we are seeing lots of sunshine ahead of us here, especially into that weekend. In Regina today, 28 for our high, 17 tonight for the low. Tomorrow we're reaching about 30 degrees. Saturday getting even hotter at 35. Sunday 28, so we are seeing that temperature come down, not by a ton, but by a little bit, and Monday is bringing us to about 21. Over to Saskatoon now, 26 today for the high, 15 tonight for the low. Tomorrow we're reaching 27, and over the weekend seeing a little bit of cloud cover, especially on that Saturday with 32 degrees. Sunday, however, clear skies with 25, and Monday is bringing us to about 17. We will be seeing a little bit of that precipitation, still looking like it will be rolling in later in the morning and earlier into the afternoon. 10 degrees Monday night for our low.
I'm Paul Hollingsworth in Halifax. Tonight on CTV National News. Tick-borne illnesses double in Nova Scotia.
You can see that there is an exponential increase.
The reasons for the rise that's putting a strain on the healthcare system. Tonight on CTV National News and ctvnews.ca.
And welcome to another edition of X's and O's with Wes Cates. Riders coming off that tough loss to the Edmonton Elks, but a chance for redemption in Edmonton on Saturday, Wes. So Marcus Sales saying he didn't think the defense actually played that bad, just breakdowns on very particular plays. And man, there were a lot of particular plays where the Elks were able to get some scoring opportunities. So can you get that done quickly? Can you fix that in a week?
Yeah, I'm surprised to hear him say that, but he might be right, Lee. I mean, yeah, him and Jackson Ford had a little mix up there where they both played the low man and let Mac get behind them high for that big late 81-yarder, right? And it did seem like the defense did play really well except for a couple of busts in that secondary. So if that's been an emphasis this week, then I do expect them to clean that up. But they still have other weapons and they still have other ways of moving the ball.
Yeah, and, you know, they did a decent job against him in that last game. I mean, he got a couple plays in their passing game, but he wasn't able to get those really big runs. And is that a good sign for this defensive line and linebacker core? Because I know it's newish. They're still gelling. They're still working on that chemistry.
I think so, because statistically, they're not really up there. They're kind of at the bottom of the league as far as yards per rush. So I think just having that against a good back like Rankin, and let's just see if they can have a repeat performance and give these guys some confidence. It all starts up front. We've been seeing great stuff out of Vaughters and the rest of the D-line getting to the quarterback, but just really sealing up those gaps, making sure that they're keeping teams in second and long.
Probably no A.J. Ouellette means Connolly will be at running back. Samuel Emelis has missed a couple practices. Weed would probably play for him if he doesn't play, but I mean, offensively, it was another 30-point game. So do you have any concerns if that's the case going into Edmonton with that lineup?
Yeah, I do think that obviously AJ is the preferred back, and I think more so because of his prowess as far as blocking and understanding, just the offensive scheme. We'll see. Connolly, the last time I saw him out there, he did have one or two busts that I noticed when I was watching the tape. So we'll see if he can clean that up. But he's a great back, and I think he's shown some explosiveness in the run game. So maybe they can get the run game going again early this game, and hopefully into the second half. The one thing I've noticed about the Riders is they've gotten AJ going early in the first half, came out with some big first halves, but then they kind of go away from the run in the second. So hopefully they can kind of keep the script a little more even in the second half, have more success on the ground.
And I got to ask you, considering the Riders lost on a 56, 57-yard field goal for the Edmonton Elks, Alex Hale was able to get one over 40, but the second one, I think, was quacking as it went past wide. So still okay with the situation when it comes to kicking?
I mean, I guess we're playing this based off of the roster and advantages you get for having that global kicker and being able to bring up an extra receiver or an extra DB and have a guy that's maybe a little more of a cover guy on special teams, not necessarily the kicking game. Me personally, I feel like you try to get the best kicker you can out there, but hey, I'm not in that coaching room trying to make it all work for that roster, right? So we'll give him a little more time, but we got our eye on you. We got our eye on you.
Yeah. The clock is ticking, but we'll see what happens in Edmonton. Maybe it's just a Mosaic Stadium thing, but that's where you play half your games, so you got to be able to kick there. We'll take a look at that Edmonton game and look forward to another game on another edition of X's and O's.
Time to check back in with Arden Lloyd, who's getting a little up-to-date safety lesson about e-scooters.
For the final time here at Regina Police Services, I'm with Shannon, and we're here to talk about e-scooter safety. Large rise in riders in the summer, and summer fun. You got to get somewhere nice, enjoy the weather, but you got to stay safe as well. What are some of the concerns that we see cropping up?
Yeah, so we get a lot of complaints from drivers with e-scooters, e-bikes, darting out into traffic, crossing in crosswalks, and we have to remember they do move quite fast, and so people are used to pedestrian speed, and so a lot of times when they check, they don't see the e-scooter coming, and then all of a sudden it's there in the intersection. So we just want to remind everyone riding e-scooters and e-bikes that you are considered a vehicle or a conveyance, and you're required to follow the same rules of the road as a vehicle. So on the roadway, using hand signals, obeying speed limits for those vehicles.
And that's a great reminder. It's often not the first thing people think of when on the bright orange neon scooters here in the city, that you are considered the same on the roadway as this cruiser behind us, or car, or truck, or likewise. The speeds have a little bit different tweak for the scooters, though, as you're not a four-wheeled vehicle. You are just you yourself and I on a scooter. What are some of the differences?
Yeah, so for e-scooters, the speed limit within the city is 24 on roadways and 15 on pathways, because those are shared paths, and so you've got pedestrians, cyclists, people out on those paths sharing, so the speed limit is reduced significantly on those pathways.
And shared pathways are good to go, but no sidewalks, as they are for walking. And just for you got your helmet on with the e-scooters. They're usually hooked up to the scooters around the city. But what are some other items that you can wear just to maximize your safety and make sure you're having a good time?
Yeah, so just like on a pedal bike, helmets are mandatory, whether it's your personal one or a city rented e-scooter, as well as we always recommend high visibility clothing and any extra protection that you can put on.
Well, thank you so much. That'll do our time here at the Regina Police Service. And remember, if you're on the road on an e-scooter, stay safe out there.
Hold your hand and call you mine.
trying to be your man till the end of time.
I've been taking risks my entire life.
You can now steal a first look at Michael B. Jordan's remake of The Thomas Crown Affair. A new trailer for the romantic heist thriller shows Jordan, who also directed the movie, in character as the titular billionaire. It hits theaters next March.
The legend is that the crown can bring back the dead.
Outer Banks fans, get ready for one last adventure. The 5th and final season of the drama hits Netflix August 20th. The trailer's out now.
It's time for you to move on. There's just one problem, Dad. I'm not done with football.
Chad Powers has a touchdown date. Hulu's Glenn Powell football comedy returns for season 2 on September 3rd. Disney is the parent company of Hulu and ABC News. And happy birthday to Christopher Nolan. The director of The Odyssey turns 56 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News.
Version of this story.
Well, maybe you have seen them in your neighborhood, those little libraries filled with books to share.
But one in Victoria stands out, and not because of what's on the shelves.
The man behind it turning a discarded cabinet into a tribute of love. Here's Adam Swatsky.
Across the street from this cruise ship terminal, you'll find Jeff Apollinario working at the end of his driveway.
I've always wanted to make a library with a cruise ship theme, if you want to call it that.
But this little library is turning out to be a very big replica of the iconic Queen Mary.
Well, it's 8 foot long, so I got 8 foot more space in the garage now that it's out there.
Jeff started building it in here after finding a perfect piece of furniture discarded on a curb.
There was this 2-door gun cabinet sitting there.
Well, after studying books showing the blueprints from when the Queen Mary was built in the 1930s, Jeff focused on custom making every detail in miniature, with help from his wife Marge.
She was great with the sanding, with the varnishing. I put her to work on a lot of projects.
That's after she put him to work a lot throughout their careers.
She's tough as nails.
When we first met the couple a few years ago, Jeff and Marge told us they met at a military hospital in Saudi Arabia during the first Gulf War.
Well, just like she is now, she's a looker.
Marge was his respected boss, while Jeff was the guy that got things done.
Then I got to know him, and I thought it was even nicer.
3 decades after falling in love, Marge and Jeff survived countless conflicts overseas before facing unexpected adversity at home.
You play the cards you dealt, right, babe? And we're making the best of things.
So after Marge was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, Jeff customized a trike so they could go on daily dates around the neighborhood. So although her memory was fading, their love was enduring.
I do love him. Yeah, I do.
Well, Marge never got to see their library set sail at the end of their driveway. More than a year ago, she passed away.
We had a good run. We saw a lot of places, had a lot of fun times.
Which is why Jeff is so pleased to see the fun times people are having with the model.
This is brilliant. Yeah, it's really good.
Exchanging books and engaging in conversations.
And the fact that people light up when they see it, it makes it all worthwhile.
And while some ships are christened after Elizabeth's or Mary's, Jeff says this library won't be complete until he adds a plaque saying, "In memory of Marge." Adam Swatsky, CTV News.
That's a cool idea.
That's really neat.
It's a sweet,
wow.
I mean, there's a sad portion to it, but it's a sweet story.
Yeah.
Let's do some sidebars for this Thursday. This month's Buck Moon peaked this week. Here's a look at the moon lighting up the sky above the Temple of Poseidon in Greece. There it is. Not a much better foreground, right, for that?
Yeah.
Buck Moon is the name of the full moon in July. This is the time of year when buck's antlers start to regrow. And then we get our licenses, our tags.
Wow.
We see how many we can get drawn for.
That's really cool. I didn't know that.
So Janelle, take us from Greece and the Buck Moon to Hawaii.
Okay, let's see if I can get this one right on this go. Hawaii's Kilauea volcano?
Kilauea, yep.
Kilauea volcano is stirring once again. It's spewing lava from a dome fountain, creating a really stunning pool of lava. There's currently an orange watch at the famous volcano, meaning it's exhibiting heightened or escalating unrest. Kilauea is one of the most active volcanoes in the world.
Look at the time lapse go. Oh my goodness. Playing into double time.
Isn't it wild?
I would take a small dome fountain in my backyard. Safe. Wouldn't that be pretty?
Sure, yeah.
We could probably make this effect with water or something.
Keep you warm.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's make that effect with some water. JD, how about you?
All right. How about a remake of a popular song? Probably unlike anything you've ever heard. Yes, we've been enjoying this one this morning. What if the king of pop was a medieval king?
Wow.
They call themselves the Medieval Bardcore Band. Pretty good.
Snappy name.
Yeah.
But like the title of the song, it's time for us to beat it. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey.